Lynch McGuanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Snakes. Why did it have to be the snakes?
Okay, we'll send these snakes slithering back to the desert.
Crack! Wall! See you later!
It's the Brewers and Diamondbacks in Milwaukee. This series is sponsored by Steinhaffel's Labor Day Sale. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 12 o'clock. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 27th. Your top story, tragedy at a Catholic church and school in Minneapolis.
I'm Jessica Tighe, formally requesting a disaster declaration.
Sun during a good portion of the day, increasing clouds, and isolated chance for an afternoon or evening shower, high of 76. Chance of rain tonight at a low of 60 degrees. It's 73 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:01. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, 8 and 10-year-old children are dead after an active shooter fired at a church in Minneapolis this morning. 17 other victims injured, 14 of them children.
Children were sitting in the church pews at a service to mark the first week of school when the shooter from the outside shot the children through windows. He allegedly barricaded the doors on that side of the building with plywood so they could not be opened. Police Chief Brian O'Hara.
The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church.
The shooter was a man in his 20s wearing all black and armed with a rifle, shotgun, and a pistol. A motive is not clear. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Governor Tony Evers has now submitted the formal request to President Trump for a disaster declaration following the historic flooding in southeast Wisconsin this month.
The request includes Milwaukee, Washington, and Waukesha counties for FEMA's Individual Assistance Program. Governor Evers says initial damage reports collected by the state indicate more than $43 million in public sector damage. The ultimate decision to approve or deny the request will rest with President Trump. Vice President J.D. Vance will visit La Crosse Thursday to tout the president's recently passed spending bill. No word on whether the VP will comment on Governor Evers' request. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
As southeastern Wisconsin waits for federal relief, President Trump is now firing back at FEMA workers that sent a letter warning that recent cuts would impact FEMA's capacity to respond to major disasters. CBS's Jared Hill.
CBS News has confirmed over a dozen FEMA employees have been put on leave after raising concerns that Trump administration cuts to the Federal Emergency Management Agency could hurt response in the middle of hurricane season.
Earlier this year, the president suggested either getting rid of FEMA or fundamentally reforming the agency by pushing some of its duties to state governments.
The lawsuit to stop the construction of Buc-ee's in Oak Creek was just dismissed. Milwaukee County Judge Glenn Yamahiro says Oak Creek Neighbors United didn't follow state statutes.
I don't believe the court has to address the other claims today because we have a fundamental problem with Civil Procedure 101. The notice of claim was filed the same day the case was filed.
Oak Creek Neighbors United says it will refile the lawsuit against the city of Oak Creek.
The Trump administration is taking control of Washington Union Station from Amtrak. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy announcing the move, saying Union Station has fallen into disrepair, echoing the president's call for $2 billion from Congress to beautify Washington. National Guard troops have been patrolling Union Station, which is walking distance from the Capitol.
Nevada's state government is trying to recover from a cyber attack.
The attack forced the closure of many state agencies and websites. Brittany Robinson was turned away at the DMV.
I just wish instead of a confirmation text for my appointment this morning, I would have received an email or a text saying that my appointment was canceled.
Dr. Gregory Moody, the director of UNLV's cybersecurity program, says government systems are attractive targets for hackers because they contain citizens' information.
They have their social security numbers, they have tax information, they have accounts.
So far, there's no evidence any personal information has been compromised. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green this afternoon with the Dow up nearly 100 points at 45,513. NASDAQ up about 30 at 21,571. S&P 500 up about 10 today at 64,76. For sound financial advice from a fee-only fiduciary, it's Annex Wealth Management. Go to annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:04.
News sponsored by LE Mental Health. Visit lementalhealth.com.
The Mental Health Minute.
I'm Kelly, licensed clinical social worker and director of Ellie Mental Health Waukesha. As a parent myself, I can feel the back-to-school season fast approaching. If you find your kid excited one minute and melting down over the wrong colored folder the next, welcome. You are in good company. This time of year brings a lot. New teachers, new routines, new social stuff, and for many kids, that also means new worries. Stomach aches, sleep trouble, big emotions over small things. It's all so normal, but that doesn't mean they have to go through it alone, and neither do you. At Ellie Mental Health, we use cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, to help kids understand their thoughts, manage their feelings, and build real-life coping skills. We turn "what if I mess up" into "I've got this." Whether your child is struggling or could just use a little extra support, we are here to help them feel more confident and in control. Give us a call today.
This has been the Mental Health Minute. Get started on your mental health journey today at elliementalhealth.com.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Exciting win for the Brewers on Tuesday night, knocking off the Diamondbacks with a walk-off sacrifice fly. Brewers look to make it 3 in a row tonight, with coverage beginning at 6:05 on WTMJ. Brewers begin the day 6.5 games ahead of the Cubs for first place in the division. Dallas Cowboys edge rusher Micah Parsons requesting a trade out of Dallas after a breakdown in contract negotiations. What are the chances he could end up in Green Bay? ESPN's Adam Schefter.
There's interest across the league in Micah, but I don't think anybody feels right now like Dallas is going to realistically trade him. That's the bigger issue.
Parsons has earned All-Pro honors in each of his 4 seasons in the NFL.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. No crashes to let you know about. Fantastic news there. We do have 2 disabled vehicles in busy spots. The first one is down in Racine County, 4194 North, really close to the ramp from Wisconsin 20, Highway 20 there. Right shoulder is blocked due to a big semi that is broken down right now. So big semi off to the road down to Racine County, 4194 North, near Wisconsin 20. Heads up on that one. Also closer to Milwaukee here, 4394 North. Right around the ramp from Holt Avenue. That's always a busy spot. It's very busy right now. Right shoulder blocked due to a car that's broken down there. We're not seeing stop-and-go traffic, but traffic is definitely slowing as it notices that vehicle.
Well, sunshine throughout the course of the day. Clouds will be on the increase. There is a chance for some rain tonight and overnight with a low of 60 degrees. Chance of lingering rain on Thursday morning, then partly sunny, a high of 70. A little cooler on Friday, sunny, but a high of 66. Sunny on Saturday and a high of 70. 74 the high on Sunday. It's 73 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:08.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
Settling in on a Wednesday afternoon. Greg and Jessica with you until 3 o'clock. We've got Brewers baseball later tonight. Coverage gets underway following the 6 o'clock news and some big and rather unfortunate stories that we're following here today.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
A shooting erupts during the first week of classes at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. The FBI is now on the scene. The shooting happened at Annunciation Catholic School in a highly populated area. 2 kids are dead. Nearly 20 people are hurt. That's the latest, according to law enforcement officials. The suspect is dead. Here's the mayor of Minneapolis today with a heartfelt message.
These were Minneapolis families. These were American families. And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country.
That press conference with the mayor wrapped up within the hour here. The Minneapolis police chief also gave an update. He said the shooter had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. That shooter was outside in the parking lot and shot through the church windows. According to the police chief, the shooter is in his early 20s and does not have an extensive criminal history, but they're looking more into that now. Investigators don't know yet whether he has a connection to the school. We'll keep you updated, of course, on new developments throughout the show here.
Meanwhile, the Archdiocese of Milwaukee responding to the shooting with a statement that reads, in part, "Our hearts break for the families and communities who have been traumatized by violence, especially during the sacred celebration of Mass. During times like this, we need to lean into our faith, hold each other up, and be compassionate to one another, recognizing the dignity of each person we encounter. During times like these, we need to lean on our faith and do as I mentioned there." Authorities have confirmed there is no longer an active threat in the area. Of course, this is a massive national story that is unfolding in front of our eyes here. WCCO anchor in Minneapolis, Susie Jones, going to join us coming up in just a few minutes with the latest, including very little information right now on the shooter, who is dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Motives, very little criminal history here that we've been able to dive into so far, but we'll get the latest from Susie coming up in a few minutes.
Yeah, it was just heartbreaking to listen to this press conference here with the mayor of Minneapolis and the police chief as well, and to hear about these kids, the two kids who are dead, just 8 years old and 10 years old. They were killed in the pews. Think about this. You had these kids at school, in church, because it's a Catholic school. They're praying, and they were killed. Just sickening.
17 others injured, including 14 children and 3 adults. We'll go to Minneapolis coming up in just a couple of minutes here on WTMJ. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek here for Flanner's Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanner's has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanner's, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanner's in West Dallas, Grafton, or at Flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Hey, if you've not experienced the historic Fox and Hound Supper Club, please do so this week. WTMJ's John Mercure. Friday, the all-you-can-eat haddock fish fry is one of the best, especially with an old-fashioned or an ice-cold beer. This Saturday only, enjoy a chicken chipotle Alfredo pasta dinner with your choice of super salad and homemade bread with that honey cinnamon butter for just $46.99, and that's for 2 dinners. That's for 2. Unwind with a cocktail in one of the 8 unique dining rooms. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of the Holy Hill Shrine. The summer drive is absolutely beautiful. This Saturday only, enjoy 2 chicken Alfredo pasta dinners for under $47. Dinner starts at 3. Arrive early. Desserts are also buy one, get one free. Then they are fantastic. The strawberry sham tort is amazing. My wife loves that. All other dinners, buy one, get one free every night. Call and reserve today. It's a super special place. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Hey, this August, you have a ticket to a cash carnival only at Potawatomi. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzek. My friends at Potawatomi Hotel Casino want to get you in the game. Play with your rewards card this month and earn entries to win your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. $300,000. Prize drawings every Thursday through August 28th. Your fortune awaits. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. More info at Potawatomi.com. Must be 21 years or older and a rewards member to play. See you at Potawatomi. Well, pretty nice day today with a high of about 76 degrees, but clouds will be on the increase and a chance of rain overnight tonight at a low of 60 degrees. Lingering rain on Thursday, then a high of 70 degrees. Should be clearing out. Then we got sunny skies Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with temperatures in the low to mid 70s. 73 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 12:15. A deliberate violence against innocent children and other people worshiping. That's how Police Chief Brian O'Hara describes the event in Minneapolis at Annunciation Catholic School, where 2 children are dead, 17 others injured after an active shooter incident. The shooter is also dead, and we're not understanding much about the criminal background history, but it doesn't appear to be much. That will play out over time. But wanted to go to Minneapolis and check in with WCCO anchor Susie Jones. Susie, just a normal day, school getting up and running in the greater Minneapolis area, and 2 students are now dead and lives are changed forever. What do we know about the situation as you are on the scene in Minneapolis?
Well, it's a Catholic school. It's called Annunciation, and there is a church and a school. And as you mentioned, the kids started this week, and today was the first mass, all-school mass that was held at the church. And what you just said is the shooter allegedly shot through the window into the church, into the seating where the kids were praying and taking part in mass. Also told today in the press conference that the shooter barricaded the doors so that no one could get out once the shooting started. So a horrific scene here in Minneapolis. So many people are here watching the scene unfold outside the school. There are many, many police squads still on the scene, ambulances, although, as you said, the children have all been taken to area hospitals, several still in critical condition at Hennepin County Medical Center, which is a level 1 trauma hospital. But shockwaves for sure, just so you have a little sense, and the listeners in Milwaukee, it's a quiet southwestern Minneapolis suburb. Everybody knows each other. Earlier today, I watched as parents reunited with their children and hugged and cried. There's also a great deal of anger as well. People just really upset that this could happen again.
Susie, you mentioned at the scene, of course, you still have the emergency responders out there. I know the FBI is there too, but are there still parents at the school waiting to reunite, or has everybody been reunited at this point? What's that?
I think everyone has been reunited at this point. That happened, maybe 2 hours after the shooting. And that was awful to see, the faces of the children just stricken. You could see how freaked out they were even, an hour or 2 after the shooting. It's very traumatizing, and I imagine it'll take a while for everyone to sort of see the long-term impact of witnessing what was just an outrageous shooting. I wanted to say, too, the weapon that was used is a weapon that is designed to shatter skin, to shatter bones. So many of those injuries, the critically injured children, have wounds that are just incredibly devastating.
Authorities have confirmed there is no longer an active threat at the location. Regarding the shooters, Susie, do we know if the shooter was connected to that school or church in any way, or was this kind of a targeted randomness?
I believe that will be known in time. Obviously, that's the next big question. We do know, I think you mentioned it at the onset, that the shooter allegedly does not have a criminal past. So there was no past knowledge that they could go into a system and see that person had X, Y, or Z kind of crime against them or conviction. But we don't know about the connection to the school. Sadly, that oftentimes is what it is. And to say that we know that from past experience, a disgruntled student, et cetera, that will all come out here. Probably, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. As you know, sometimes this stuff takes time to get it to a place where we can all know.
We know that 2 children were killed in this. Many more kids were hurt. What have you learned so far about the victims?
Well, the hospital provided an update, Hennepin County Medical Center, a doctor who described the wounds and the trauma that they're going through at the hospital. I just want to add this as an aside. Yesterday in Minneapolis, 6 people were shot about a mile and a half from where I am. So the surgeons and doctors at Hennepin County Medical Center are kind of trying to catch their breath after that, and now this. But the extent of the injuries ranges. There are 7 in critical. The ages of the young patients, 6 years old to, I believe it was 12. This goes through 6th grade, this school does, so the kids are in that range.
All those kids, yes, relatively young, as Susie outlined. Have you spoken with any school leadership at all, Susie, to try and figure out a path where the school can move forward? Of course, this is a church. This is a place of worship, along with being a school.
Right. They have not spoken yet. I'm sure they will be providing some kind of an update at some point in the day here. I did see a number of Catholic priests together, as well as chaplains, all go in. So I would imagine there would be a sense that they would come out and talk about the healing and maybe too what people can do, because obviously when there's tragedy, you guys know that people want to do anything they can to help ease the pain, ease the burden of those who are suffering.
We're talking about a school here, but the kids were in church. This is a Catholic church. I was curious. I remember going to Catholic church before I moved from Milwaukee to Elm Grove, and oftentimes we would have community members in that Mass as well. Do you know if that's the case at this school?
I don't know if the community was invited to this. This was an all-school Mass, and it's not a very big school. It's a small community, but I can't answer that for sure whether or not there were members of the community, folks that live in the neighborhood that would have gone to Mass as well.
Susie, can you describe the layout of the building? Is the church area kind of separate from the school area? I'm trying to get a sense of, when shots ring out, is there a place to go? Is there a place to run and hide? Obviously, many were injured and 2 have died, but what is the layout? Is this a relatively big building, or how would you describe it?
I would say part of the building is very, very old and smaller, and then there's another building off to the side that is bigger. I actually did talk to a mother and a student who were leaving the school after being reunited, and she was quite eloquent, the 6th grader, and said that once the shooting happened, they were all taken to areas to shelter in place, and the school was on lockdown. So again, I hate to say this, they've been practicing for this, as American students have been. I mean, as sickening as that is, they have a game plan if there is an active shooter, and they all went to their safe spaces until the event ended.
Yeah, and the sad part is we've had all these swatting hoaxes at numerous universities across the country, and you have to take those seriously because
you do.
One day it could be real, and today that's the day in Minneapolis.
Oh, God, yeah, just awful. Really hard, I was sort of sitting there working on a story this morning, and, it's hard. You're a parent. I'm a parent, and I was sort of, I don't know if I look sad, but a neighbor came up and said, "Was I okay?" I said, I'm like, yes, I'm a reporter. And, I guess sometimes stories get to me, even as tough and hardened and seasoned a reporter I am, it can still get inside.
Yeah, you're human. Have you heard from any of the neighbors, people who might have heard this happening?
I think a lot of neighbors heard it and thought someone was roofing, like putting a new roof on a house. You know how you hear the staples pop, 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 because it was 3 different weapons fired, all 3, rifle, handgun, and then that assault weapon. So that's what I think people thought initially, and then obviously the news came out of what was happening, but it's just a tough day, really is.
Shooter, a man in his 20s, wearing all black, armed with a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. The motive remains unclear. Children were quite literally sitting in church pews at a service to mark the first week of school, and those doors on the outside were barricaded. They were barricaded shut with plywood so as to not let the children escape. This is just a horrific scene. Is the building all clear? Was there any sign or thought that maybe explosives would be in the area or anything else? He was certainly well armed.
Yeah, I think there was some thought that there might have been an explosive or like a smoke bomb, but that I don't believe that was actually discovered. But it's all clear now. Now it's just a live investigation scene. There's so many, the FBI, the ATF, Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, of course, Minneapolis Police. So it's a building that is climbing with, people in and out looking for more clues as to, who knew this guy? What was his beef? Did he go to that school? I mean, so many unanswered questions at this point, but really, really unbelievable.
WCCO anchor and reporter Susie Jones joining us here from Minneapolis. Susie, thank you for your time and perspective.
Thanks, Susie.
No problem. Yep. Bye-bye.
We'll continue the conversation throughout the day. Scott McFarland will join us coming up following the 12:30 news, our CBS congressional correspondent. Of course, a big-time national story here breaking in the Midwest in the state of Minnesota. It's 12:25. We've got news coming up in just a few minutes.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Founded by inventors and fueled by community and focused on your business. Greg Matzek here, telling you the story of Horicon Bank, a bank that first opened its doors back in 1896. Pretty amazing when you think about it. Wisconsin was barely 50 years old, not even 50 years old, and Horicon Bank opened its doors to the community in Horicon because, well, people were going to work. They needed a bank. They needed a community bank, and that's where Horicon Bank started. They have expanded quite a bit over the years. You're probably starting to see Horicon Bank pop up at banks that used to be something else in southeastern Wisconsin. I can tell you this much. They provide top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. Service and products go hand-to-hand. Financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks. Horicon Bank is there for you. There for the community. Horicon Bank gets the job done. Together doing good. That is the vision of Horicon Bank, committed to doing what it takes to help you and your business. Check out Horicon Bank. They've expanded, but they have not lost that community-minded approach. Truly the natural choice. It's Horicon Bank.
Hey, boaters!
Where else are you going to find weather stripping for a 77 Carver? That's what he said, and I don't know the answer to that one, but he sure was glad he found it here. I'm Dave Doro with Kendor Marine, and when it comes to boat parts and supplies, we have it all. If you're a boater and you need it, we got it. And that's why you got to get here. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Hey, boaters!
Inexperienced boaters are more than welcome here because at Kendor Marine you'll find all the answers to your questions on parts, installation, troubleshooting, and the best part is when we figure out what you need, we can grab it from our massive inventory of boat parts and supplies that no one around can match. I'm Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzek households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP SmartSide siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. It's 12:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, moving the location of a murder trial.
I'm Jessica Tighe. From termination to resignation.
Sunshine during the day, possible rain at night. It's currently 73.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. 2 students are dead, ages 8 and 10, after a mass shooting and gunman opened fire at a church at Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis. 17 others were injured.
Children were sitting in the church pews at a service to mark the first week of school when the shooter from the outside shot the children through windows. He allegedly barricaded the doors on that side of the building with plywood so they could not be opened. Police Chief Brian O'Hara.
The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church.
The shooter was a man in his 20s wearing all black and armed with a rifle, shotgun, and a pistol. A motive is not clear. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Police have not identified the gunman but are now looking into his background, including social media posts and how he obtained the weapons. President Trump also briefed on the shooting and called it a terrible situation, and he spoke to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and offered condolences. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 12:31. Granting a change of venue in the Lily Peters murder trial. Now 17-year-old Carson Petersberger is being charged as an adult in the death and sexual assault of 10-year-old Lily Peters in Chippewa Falls. Peters was found dead near a walking trail in April of 2022 after not coming home from a bike ride. Petersberger was 14 at the time of the murder. His lawyers argued that he would not receive a fair trial in Chippewa County after all the publicity and memorials still on display, and a judge agreed. A trial date has not yet been set. Petersberger has pled not guilty to all of the charges.
The Wisconsin man who faked his own death and left the country is now sentenced to 89 days in jail.
Brian Borgward misled police for 89 days last fall after telling his wife he was kayaking. The 45-year-old man actually left his wife and 3 children to meet a woman in Eastern Europe. He issued a social media video when he returned to the U.S. last December.
Good evening. It's Brian Borgward. I'm in my apartment. I am safe. Secure.
His kayak was found on a Wisconsin lake about 100 miles northwest of Milwaukee. He told police he abandoned it, swam to shore, and then headed to an airport. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
An elementary school principal in Germantown who was facing termination instead resigns. MacArthur Elementary School Principal Tony Gonzalez submitted his resignation Monday to the Germantown School District. The school board Tuesday night unanimously approved the resignation. School Board President Russ Ewert.
Yesterday, we received a letter of resignation from the administrator. At that time, it changes this from a termination hearing to a closed session regarding consideration for administrator's resignation.
A letter to parents noted Gonzalez was on leave and not expected to return as principal. They did not provide a reason for that leave of absence.
A community grocery store and cafe in Milwaukee could be in its final days of operation.
The River West Co-op has revealed plans to either close up shop or restructure in an email sent to members Monday. The co-op's board of directors cites recent history and responsibilities to the community as reasons for the move, while also noting the organization has suffered, quote, mounting financial losses. Last year, the co-op received a $150,000 grant used to help reopen their adjacent cafe. A special membership meeting is planned for September 10th. The co-op will stay open ahead of that meeting. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
One man is dead, another hurt after a UTV crash in the town of Milton.
Authorities say it happened just after 10 Tuesday night on East Vincent Road. The Rock County Sheriff's Office says a 48-year-old man from Edgerton was driving the UTV when it crashed. He was taken to the hospital with non-fatal injuries. His passenger, a 62-year-old man from Florida, died at the scene. According to the DNR, there had already been 27 ATV or UTV-related deaths in Wisconsin this year, making this crash the 28th. The victim's name has not been released yet. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Marilyn.
I've been volunteering for over 30 years, so I got to know the community and loved it. We have a theater, community room, and we have bocce outside. They have gardens all over the campus that the residents tend to. Quilting groups, sewing groups, knitting groups, just lots and lots of amenities. Never a boring day.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You've heard about Tri-County Contracting and their worry-free roof tune-up. You've heard about their instant roof quote. But don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also handles windows. Our project at my home moving right along right now, and the process has been so easy and thorough. It's nice when you can trust the team you're working with and know that they are looking out for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and also windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Hi, this is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And you know, I'm a consumer just like you. And my ears perk up for pain relief messages just like you. But some of these ads...
Since I started taking this natural supplement, within weeks, my pain is completely gone.
I mean, come on. Give me a break. The truth is, there are imbalances in your body causing your pain. And there's physical therapy, which we are highly skilled at, that can improve imbalances. And there are alternative pain solutions. But not all of them are proven, safe, effective, or affordable. At Rejuvenex, the effectiveness of Toradol joined with hyaluronic acid has been proven. Our treatments are affordable, FDA approved, safe, and they're powerful medicines. They calm inflammation and cushion joints, and they can make your pain go away.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Start your journey now. Don't wait. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation to lose up to 1 pound of fat per day. No drugs, no injections, no exercise. It's safe, fast, and costs a fraction of those injections. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. The Brewers look to make it 3 wins in a row tonight over the Diamondbacks. Milwaukee begins today 6.5 games ahead of the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Cubs lost to the Giants last night. Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news. And cutdown day in the NFL has come and gone. Practice squads are being assembled. And in Dallas, edge rusher Micah Parsons is holding in, as in not practicing, seeking a trade after a breakdown in contract negotiations. Any chance he ends up in Green Bay?
There's interest across the league in Micah, but I don't think anybody feels right now like Dallas is going to realistically trade him. That's the bigger issue.
Parsons has earned All-Pro honors in each of his 4 seasons in the NFL.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. New disabled vehicle out of the system that's having people tamp their brakes just a bit. I-94 East, about a mile beyond the ramp from Barker Road out in the Brookfield area. Left shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down there. We're also seeing our typical delays on 41 in our construction zone.
Overall, pretty nice day today. Should be a good amount of sun here in the early portion of the afternoon. We will see a transition into clouds. That could bring about some rain later tonight. Overnight low 60 degrees. Today's high 76. Tomorrow, rain in the morning, then clearing skies and a high of 70. We stay in a pattern of upper 60s to mid 70s the next several days and through the weekend. Should be plenty of sun tonight and tomorrow morning. About the only chances of rain for the next several days. 73 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:38.
I'm so tired of the way you turn my words into decisions and lies. The misunderstanding when I try to speak.
12:39 on a Wednesday, our weekly check-in with CBS congressional correspondent. It's Scott McFarland, and some terrible news out of Minneapolis today, and CBS now reporting the shooter, Robin Westman, age 23, from suburban Minneapolis, is the gunman who approached a school and church outside of Minneapolis, killing 17 others injured in a horrific scene playing out on one of the first days of school in that area. Scott McFarland joins us from the nation's capital. Certainly this has become a big story here in the country here, Scott. And over time, we'll start to learn more about who Robin Westman was, but already you're starting to see some indications that this was a troubled individual with videos describing his interest in mass shootings, a collection of weapons, all the disturbing things that unfortunately go along with stories like this.
At this point, the latest numbers from the healthcare system in Minneapolis, Greg, is that there are 7 critically injured people. 7. The police chief had said 2 at his initial news conference. That number's been updated. 6 of the 7 critically wounded are children. One's an adult, and the 2 people who died are an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old. It underscores, as we continue through a plague of mass shootings in America, that this one has deadly and acute consequences for children.
And this is such a fragile situation right now. As I was listening to the press conference a little bit earlier, as they were mentioning the numbers, I thought, that could change. That could change. I mean, those kids in critical condition, you never know what could happen in the next hour here, the next day, the next couple of days.
And some of this is fluid because there's a fog of war in mass shootings. I mean, that's the nature of these things. A couple of things the police chief said, though, have all these echoes of past mass shootings. First of all, children hiding wherever they could find space inside the church. In this case, the gunman barricading the door with a 2x4 to make escape more difficult. Well, we saw that at Virginia Tech in 2007. And then that same dynamic of, we have a family reunification center to keep parents from flooding the zone to come rescue their kids. All of this is too much for children to handle, too much for adults to handle.
And Scott, typically what we've seen here, and including in Abundant Life School in Madison, which occurred a couple of Decembers ago, some sort of manifesto, some sort of note, something left behind by the shooter. Is it too early to tell if there was some sort of note or anything left behind?
We're getting conflicting information on that now. We know, just as practice and as a necessity in these federal investigations, they're going to do a forensic review of any phone devices and electronics, of anything left at the scene. And the police chief seemed pretty clear there was more than just a gun, or in this case, 3 guns, and a vehicle left at the scene. All 3 weapons were fired, according to the police chief, from the outside through the windows. And it's a church. It's church windows. And this service was a back-to-school service for these kids, ages 3 to 13. This is something they did to, I guess, celebrate, to honor the first week of school. This was day 3 for kids of that age.
Scott, you mentioned how sometimes the latest school shooting often sounds a little bit like another school shooting or another school shooting, and I agree with you. The one thing I will say about this one, when I was listening to the Minneapolis mayor speaking, he said, don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. And I just went, you're kidding me. When you have that visual that these kids were in the church and they were praying and they were shot, that was something I hadn't heard before.
This resonates with so many parents. The idea of back to school, celebration of something to honor and mark and build community in the first days of school. You see it all over your social media feed. Parents taking those first day pictures, the kids with their new backpacks and the new school outfits, and those smiles, those unequivocal smiles kids have as they return to school at that age, at the age of 8 and 10. This was a moment of joy, and that this moment of horror erupted inside a holy place is not only is it going to fuel, concern about the safety of other, religious houses of worship, but it's also has the potential of triggering a debate over safety, security, gun rights, and all the other things that are part of the political sphere right now.
Well, things that work its way to politicians, and we know Governor Tim Walz and President Trump have connected today. Of course, a lot of these types of things end up in Washington with lawmakers and those who are on the House floor and in positions like the president to ultimately try and figure out. It doesn't matter who's been the president of the last several years, right? I mean, this has just been too commonplace here, Scott. So, but ultimately, what is Washington's role in trying to slow this stuff down?
Yeah, it's a great open question, and it's one that that bobs and weaves based on politics of the moment. We know that the federal government, first of all, is leading the investigation here. The FBI's Minneapolis field office is doing the work on the ground, and there'll be resources from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, and state police, local police. But the federal government does look at the bigger picture here. And so, it's a politically charged question when you ask, what should the government do about this? There are some actual, blocking and tackling things they do. The FBI prepares those run, hide, fight protocols, videos, and training sessions. The Secret Service studies this at a macro level to look at the bigger issues. And one of the things the Secret Service says about mass shooters is they often, almost always, have legally obtained the gun. They got it from a family member, took it from a family member, or just happened to own it. And that they often have some connected tissue to the target. They know the community, they know the victims, they know the school, they know the church. That's something that'll be looked into. Does this individual have connections to this church and to this school? And what's more, the Secret Service has said in so many words, Greg, there's no single profile of a mass shooter because it's so difficult to create one. They are a diverse bunch in their own ways, in motives, in their ideologies, in what they read and what they consume, in their age, their gender, their demographic. There are variances. So there's no single way to deduce somebody could be a mass shooter, but the federal government does have a role in studying the issue and trying to be preventative.
President Trump wrote on Truth Social that he's been fully briefed on this tragic shooting in Minneapolis. From your experience in D.C., would you expect the president to at some point be visiting soon?
Hard call, because the volume of mass shootings in America, it has not become the muscle memory of every president to visit every scene. And I think it speaks to the widespread nature of this, that this happens so frequently, that some of this sounds so familiar, that you can look at this shooting today and think of all the parallels to the previous shootings in other places. There have been targets at houses of worship just in recent years, from the temple in Pittsburgh to the Jewish Center in Washington, D.C. Earlier this year. And the MO and the strategies and the tools. But I think the president acknowledging the severity of this, the congressional delegations doing so, underscores the horror that unfolded in Minneapolis.
CBS congressional correspondent Scott McFarland joining us from Washington, D.C. The president has gone to great lengths to curtail crime in the nation's capital. He's exploring doing the same thing in other crime-ridden cities across the country here, Scott. But a recent executive order signed by the president indicates that specialized National Guard units will now be trained to deal with public disorder. So is this a sign that the president intends to expand the military's role in fighting local crime?
He certainly suggested it's possible, and he's name-checked two cities, just to the south in Chicago and just to my north in Baltimore. So this is a possibility that he's openly discussing, and it could go farther and wider from there. I can tell you on the ground here in Washington, as we begin week 3 of this, the National Guard here in D.C. has really not been part of making arrests. They've had some tangential impact on a couple of cases, but they're not doing the arresting. They are now carrying guns, and they are now at 21 different subway stations inside the Washington, D.C. subway system, which is heavily used by children because that's the way they get to school in Washington, D.C. There really aren't any school buses. People here have diverse opinions on this. I've talked to parents who said, hey, at least my kid's safer on the subway going to middle school. I kind of like that. There are many parents who say, I don't like my kids seeing armed troops on our streets. The mayor, though, has been consistent with her argument that she thinks this is un-American, to have guard troops on U.S. soil policing U.S. people. But that is the reality here indefinitely.
I don't know how exactly you would evaluate this if the National Guard troops are not making arrests, but is their presence in D.C. working then?
Well, the president's going to argue yes, and so will his supporters. And I think the theory of the game here is that if you put the National Guard in places like subway stations, on the National Mall, outside the major train station in Washington, you've then freed up police officers to go elsewhere and do more demonstrative things. So maybe it's a force multiplier, and it frees up officers to get on the ground in other places and combat crime hand to hand. That's the argument in favor of it. I think the reaction we're getting, though, is some parents aren't so concerned about the efficacy of having National Guard in D.C. They are struggling with how to tell their kids why there's troops in their neighborhood. And for the better or for the worse, that's the reality here, and it's going to be that way for quite some time to come.
Scott, is that a change? I think recently when we spoke, it didn't appear as if those National Guard troops were doing as much in the neighborhoods. Of course, there's been, so many more National Guard troops called to the area that certainly they may have the manpower to do so. Are they starting to get into the DNA of the district versus just sort of the high-profile areas?
They're not in the neighborhoods, at least not visibly to all people. But when we last spoke about this, there were about 800 D.C. National Guard responding to what is really their own community. Now there's 2,300, and they're coming from West Virginia, Louisiana, South Carolina, Ohio. They may not have any familiarity with this area, nor do the people here have familiarity with them. So they're going to be farther and wider because there's more of them. And as of Friday night, they're now carrying. Some of them, dozens of them, are now carrying firearms visibly. That's a change, too. But we're not seeing them make arrests, and we're not seeing them get into that real grassroots, granular level of patrol in Washington, D.C. neighborhoods, where the kids stop after school, where people are mowing their lawns or people are buying a soda. It's just a little different now.
CBS congressional correspondent Scott McFarland. Always busy time, Scott. We appreciate your time and insight, and we'll check it again next week.
Yeah, thanks, Scott.
Anytime.
12:50 on WTMJ.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car is not one of them. The national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
What? The car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adam.com.
Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off their shoulders. Greg Matzek here. It's Gruber Law Offices. If you've been hurt in an accident, you make a phone call to Gruber. Let them fight the legal battle while you focus on healing. You can trust Gruber. They've been doing this for 40 years. 40 years. Family-run business, but they got a large and powerful team ready to tackle the insurance companies. It's Gruber Law Offices, getting results that speak for themselves and also giving back to the community in so many ways. It was great to be down at the State Fair and walking right in and seeing Gruber right there at the Milk House, right? Just one of many ways Gruber gives back to the community. It's part of their culture. Visit gruber-law.com. Learn more about the firm, what they can do for you, how they give back to the community, and how this fine business has been incredible for 40-plus years. Call 414-276-6666.
Hey, Ripon, big news! Tyson's is opening this fall. Shop trusted brand names for home, farm, auto, pet, tools, and home improvement all in one place. And count on personal customer first service every time you walk in. Check us out at Tysons.com.
Julie Granger is the president of Junior Achievement of Wisconsin. Julie, your organization has business technology from James Imaging Systems. Yet today, please tell us about Junior Achievement's unique mission.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has a mission of inspiring and preparing young people for success in a global economy. We serve students anywhere from kindergarten through 12th grade, and we just started serving young adults 18 to 25.
I understand financial literacy is also an important part of your mission.
Financial literacy is critical to the long-term success of every individual so that they can plan their futures and they can live their dreams.
To help turn those dreams into reality, how can everyone get involved?
We are looking for people who are willing to donate their time, treasure, and talent to the organization.
What's the first step?
The best way to reach us is through our website, wisconsin.ja.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Well, the sun remains out. Clouds will be on the increase later today. Chance of rain tonight. That could linger into Thursday. Overnight low of 60 degrees. Tomorrow's high 70, 68. Sunny, your high on Friday. Sun returns in full force on Saturday and Sunday with temperatures in the low to mid 70s. It's 74 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:55. Wrapping up hour number one here of Wisconsin's Midday News, and just a horrific scene playing out in suburban Minneapolis. 2 children are dead, 14 kids, 3 adults hurt, several of whom were sent to the hospital. 7, according to our CBS congressional correspondent Scott McFarland, are in critical condition at an area hospital. A name you're going to hear a lot over the next several days as this investigation unfolds is Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara. There was a news briefing earlier today trying to piece together information on the shooter, who's a 23-year-old man who died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
There's a vehicle that we believe that the suspect used that is being searched, and we will be conducting other searches related to this.
Robin Westman is been identified as the shooter, 23-year-old native of Minneapolis suburbs, and certainly a deep dive into his past will ensue now that they know the identity of the shooter.
It is just so heartbreaking and really sickening. I mean, these kids were killed in church, in the pews. They were praying. I looked up during our interview with Scott McFarland, and one of the national outlets was interviewing a 5th grader who was describing surviving this mass school shooting. A 5th grader describing what happened inside that church and how he survived.
We'll have more information throughout the day. We'll bring you the latest right here on WTMJ. We've got news coming up next.
Bill Berrien is a former Navy SEAL, a businessman, and he's running for governor.
I'm Bill Berrien. While the globalists and corrupt politicians shipped our jobs to China, I went all in on Wisconsin. At my manufacturing business, we hire American, build American, and take the fight to China. I'm an outsider and a businessman who puts America first, just like President Trump. Together, we will make Wisconsin manufacturing great again.
Bill Berrien for governor, paid for by Bill for Wisconsin.
Well, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, and you know what it is. It's Palermo's. What's the best part about Palermo's? Boy, hard to say. Fantastic frozen pizza, that might be first and foremost, but maybe a close second or a 1B. The fact that it's made right here in Milwaukee. Absolutely love that. Supporting local and eating great when you got Palermo's on your table. Slice for every appetite. Connie's Urban Pie, Screamin' Sicilian, which is absolutely delicious. You got the Ragu frozen pizza. If you've not tried that, they're on sale right now. 2 for $8 at Woodman's in Racine, right? How about that? Ragu frozen pizza made by Palermo's. Interesting collaborations, fun toppings, great varieties. It is Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. They've been doing it for 60 years right here in Wisconsin.
Discover how artificial intelligence is transforming manufacturing at the Midwest Manufacturing AI Summit, October 7th at Wisconsin State Fair Park, co-located with WIMTS. This workshop for manufacturing owners, executives, and operations managers will show how AI reduces downtime, increases throughput, and improves quality. Explore a technology showcase, connect with solution providers, consultants, and industry experts, and see how AI tools can drive results on your shop floor. Seats are limited. Register now at techedpodcast.com/AI Summit.
It's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $200 off all awnings and screens. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Freightert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Your blood vessels play a key role in keeping you healthy, also known as your vascular health. Unfortunately, problems with these vessels affect millions of Americans every year across all age groups. Here to tell us more about the importance of vascular health is Momodou Jama, a Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin vascular surgeon. Doctor, thank you so much for being here with us.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us about how vascular health impacts the entire body?
Your vascular system, the network of arteries, veins, and capillaries in your body, is essentially your transportation system for moving blood around your body. When these vessels are healthy, they efficiently deliver oxygen, nutrients, and immune cells to every organ and tissue. However, when vascular health is poor, it can affect nearly every part of your body.
And it does affect every part of your body. What are some common vascular diseases?
The most common vascular diseases include peripheral artery disease, which is the narrowing of the arteries due to plaque buildup, which can make it hard for blood to flow to the legs and feet. This often results in pain as well as difficulty with wound healing. Next is carotid artery stenosis, where plaque buildup inside the carotid artery and can break off and cause a stroke. An aortic aneurysm, which is a dangerous bulging of the body's main artery in the chest and abdomen that can burst if not treated. And finally, varicose veins, which are swollen and twisted veins, the ones you often see under your skin. When blood can't flow properly to your legs, brain, heart, or other organs, it can affect your entire body. That's why treating vascular disease in a timely fashion is important for your overall health.
Why should someone choose the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin for their vascular services?
We have a team of specialists dedicated to treating vascular diseases, including vascular medicine specialists, vascular and cardiac surgeons, as well as interventional radiologists that provide care in eastern Wisconsin.
Dr. Gemma, thank you for being with us today. For more information on vascular health, check out freightert.com/vascular.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Okay, we'll send these snakes slithering back to the desert.
Crack! Wall! See you later!
It's the Brewers and Diamondbacks in Milwaukee. This series is sponsored by Steinhoffel's Labor Day Sale. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 101. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 27th. Your top story, hearing from one of the survivors of a mass shooting in Minneapolis.
I'm Jessica Tighe. Could FEMA cuts impact relief plans for southeast Wisconsin?
Increasing clouds, isolated chance of an afternoon or evening shower, high of 76. Chance of rain continues tonight at a low of 60. Tomorrow's high, 70 degrees. It's 74 and mostly sunny in Milwaukee. At 102 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a 23-year-old opened fire through stained glass windows at the Annunciation Catholic School Church during a school mass in Minneapolis this morning. 2 children ages 8 and 10 died in the attack. The shooter, identified as Robin Weston, committed suicide. 5th grader Weston Halsney, one of the students in the church, says one of his friends is among the kids who were injured.
We waited like 10 to 5 minutes, I don't really know. And then we went to the gym, and then the doors locked just to make sure he didn't come.
15 children and 2 adults among the wounded. Officials are looking into the suspect's motive and believe he acted alone.
Governor Tony Evers has now submitted the formal request to President Trump for a disaster declaration following our historic flooding in southeastern Wisconsin this month.
The request includes Milwaukee, Washington, and Waukesha counties for FEMA's Individual Assistance Program. Governor Evers says initial damage reports collected by the state indicate more than $43 million in public sector damage. The ultimate decision to approve or deny the request will rest with President Trump. Vice President J.D. Vance will visit La Crosse Thursday to tout the president's recently passed spending bill. No word on whether the VP will comment on Governor Evers' request. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
As southeast Wisconsin waits for federal relief, President Trump now firing back at FEMA workers who sent a letter warning that recent cuts would impact FEMA's capacity to respond to major disasters.
CBS News has reviewed copies of the emails placing the employees on administrative leave. The announcement says the employees will continue to receive pay and benefits, but they cannot take any action in their official capacity. Employees are expected to remain available during working hours and were asked not to share the email announcing their leave. All employees being placed on leave signed their names in a letter warning Congress that the Trump administration has hampered FEMA's ability to handle a major disaster. Jesse Mitchell, CBS News.
Prosecutors in Washington, D.C. are finding it tough to convince grand jurors to approve felony charges against fellow residents accused of assaulting police. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
Sources say after being presented with the evidence, a federal grand jury here in D.C. was not persuaded to indict 37-year-old Sean Dunn on felony charges. Dunn was arrested by a phalanx of officers after he was seen throwing his deli sandwich at a federal agent. Prosecutors could try again with another grand jury, or they can pursue a misdemeanor charge. That's the path prosecutors have chosen against a woman they've accused of injuring an FBI agent during a protest last month. Attempts to secure an indictment against her failed 3 times.
Under the Federal Speedy Trial Act, prosecutors technically have 30 days from the date of someone's arrest to seek indictment, or they have to choose between dropping the case altogether or moving to charges of misdemeanor offenses.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green here this afternoon. The Dow surging up 150 points at 45,557. NASDAQ up about 50 this afternoon at 21,588. And the S&P up about 15 at 6480. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:05.
You have never been to an all-inclusive resort? Well, neither have I. Hi, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi, and this winter, we're going to rectify that. My wife, Kathy, and I have teamed up with Fox World Travel to check another travel wish item off our list, and you are invited to join us. We'll be flying nonstop from Milwaukee to sunny Cancun and staying at the ultra-chic luxury resort Secrets the Vine. This adults-only all-inclusive resort offers unlimited luxury where so much is included. Best-in-class service, gourmet a la carte restaurants, top-shelf drinks, 24-hour room and concierge service, endless day and nighttime activities, and more. Come with us, soak up the sun on the beach or one of 3 sparkling infinity pools, enjoy sommelier-led wine tasting, or explore the Cancun area. You know my trips sell out fast, so if you want more information about the February festivities, contact a travel advisor at Fox by calling 866-GO-FOX-GO or their fabulous website, foxworldtravel.com.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. A walk-off win for the Brewers on Tuesday night. They go for 3 in a row over the Diamondbacks this evening at American Family Field. Brewers are 6.5 games ahead of the Cubs for first place in the division. Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Micah Parsons to the Packers? Well, maybe, but don't hold your breath. According to ESPN's Adam Schefter, Parsons requesting a trade out of Dallas after a breakdown in contract negotiations.
There's interest across the league in Micah, but I don't think anybody feels right now like Dallas is going to realistically trade him. That's the bigger issue.
Parsons has earned All-Pro honors each of his first 4 seasons in the NFL.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We do have a new incident in Racine County. Wisconsin 83 South is closed right now beyond Wisconsin 20 High Drive because of a fire. Once again, there is a fire in Racine County that is impacting traffic. Wisconsin 83 South in Racine County is closed currently beyond Wisconsin 20 High Drive. No cameras in that area, but we'll keep you posted on what happens next.
Increasing clouds today, an isolated chance of an afternoon or evening shower, high of 76. Chance of rain tonight and a low of 60. Showers early on Thursday, then partly sunny, a high of 70. Sunny on Friday, a little cooler and a high of 66. 70 your high on Saturday, 74 on Sunday, plenty of sun. 74 and sunny in Milwaukee at 109.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
Hope your Wednesday's going all right. We've got Brewers baseball coming up a little later tonight on WTMJ. Thrilling win last night, although they were not able to protect a big lead. The fact that game came down to the ninth inning, kind of shocking for those who are at American Family Field, but nonetheless, Brewers go for 3 in a row, and the Cubs lost. So, building in the right direction once again.
The Cubs lost. Okay, all right.
Well,
noted.
They're playing in San Francisco, so if you're not staying up late for those games, and I certainly wasn't, you have to check in the morning to see what's going on. Like I did. It's 109 on WTMJ.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, tragedy in Minneapolis. Kids marking the new school year killed in their church. An 8-year-old and a 10-year-old are dead. 17 others are hurt. 14 of those are kids. The shooter took his own life after. ABC's Alex Stone has the latest from Annunciation Catholic Church.
Children were sitting in the church pews at a service to mark the first week of school when the shooter from the outside shot the children through windows. He allegedly barricaded the doors on that side of the building with plywood so they could not be opened. Police Chief Brian O'Hara.
The coward who fired these shots ultimately took his own life in the rear of the church.
The shooter was a man in his 20s wearing all black and armed with a rifle, shotgun, and a pistol. A motive is not clear. Alex Stone, ABC News.
CBS News is now reporting the shooter was 23-year-old Robin Westman from suburban Minneapolis. It is not known yet whether he has a connection to the school or to that church.
A massive tariff hike on goods from India. President Trump doubling the tax on imports from India to 50% to punish the country for buying Russian oil. The United States imports from India exceeded $91 billion in 2024, according to the United Nations Comtrade database on international trade. ABC's Mary Bruce.
The new 50% tariff on nearly all goods imported from India is among the highest imposed by the Trump administration and on a country that has deep ties to the U.S. It means that Americans could pay more for everything from clothing and footwear to jewelry and furniture. Now, so far, pharmaceuticals and electronics are exempt, but there's no question this is going to have a huge impact on American importers, many of whom have been increasingly turning to India to lessen their dependence on China.
Electronic equipment, pharmaceutical products, that tops the list here, combining for over $26 billion worth of goods imported to the United States. Precious stones are on that list, metals and coins, that exceeds $11 billion. In terms of goods imported to the United States, I looked at the list here. India ranks 9th on that list, behind Mexico, China, Canada, Germany, Japan, Vietnam, South Korea, and Ireland.
Number 3, a St. Louis man was just convicted in a Kohl's Cash scam. Investigators say 35-year-old Marshall Lampkin devised a scheme to use Kohl's Cash twice. First, he would use it to buy things in the store. Then he would immediately use that same Kohl's Cash to order merchandise online, knowing that the in-person transaction hadn't registered yet. Lampkin then returned the items he bought in the store for a refund in Kohl's Cash so he could repeat the scam. Investigators say Lampkin used the scheme more than 100 times at 40 different stores in 13 states, ultimately stealing more than $200,000 in online merchandise. He was then trying to sell the items and did sell some of the items on Facebook. The jury found this guy guilty in just 7 minutes.
It got a little greedy there, huh? Now, you do it once, maybe nobody notices. You do it multiple times and start cashing in.
Jeez.
People are going to take notice.
Yeah, the Kohl's Cash scam.
1:13 on WTMJ. We continue after this.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Trees on the Move. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, entrepreneurs, listen up. Greg Matzek here, explaining how Horicon Bank is getting behind you. Don't miss the 5th Annual Small Business Owners Community Conference. It is coming up here, September 16th through the 19th at Brookfield's Sheridan Hotel. Horicon Bank is a presenting sponsor. They got free tickets to give away as well, 10. If you go to horiconbank.com, you can sign up, and you might even get a free ticket. Together doing good, that's the difference. It's Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Been doing banking in the state of Wisconsin for over 100 years. Expanding? Yes. Have they lost that familial and community-minded approach? Absolutely not. They are there for you. Whatever it is, your business, whatever your needs. You might be just looking to open a first savings account, maybe putting some money away in a CD. No problem. Horicon Bank can help you through the process. Member FDIC.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments. Behind the Bucks is Bucks history, like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Okay, we'll send these snakes slithering back to the desert.
Crack! Wall! See you later!
It's the Brewers and Diamondbacks in Milwaukee. This series is sponsored by Steinhoffel's Labor Day Sale. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Well, the radar is pretty clear for now. Clouds could be on the increase later today. Possible you'll experience a little rain tonight and lingering into tomorrow morning. Overnight low 60 degrees, tomorrow's high 68. Friday's high 70 degrees, 74 on Saturday, 70 on Sunday. Should be plenty of sun once you get into, I'd say, the late morning tomorrow, following a brief chance of rain tonight and tomorrow morning. It's 74 and sunny in Milwaukee at 116.
Multiple law enforcement agencies are at a Catholic church and school in Minneapolis right now after a mass shooting this morning. 2 kids were killed. Many more are hurt. This prompted a lockdown at other schools and churches in the area. And my aunt, Kelly Dennehy, happens to work at one of those churches. She joined us live on the line. Thanks so much for joining us, Aunt Kelly. As I know this has been an emotional few hours for you.
Hi, Jessica. Yes, it's a tragedy beyond belief, yes.
So can you walk us through what happened this morning at your church?
We have our school starting at 9:30 in the morning, so we have parents dropping off by about 10 after 9, and simultaneously we have daily mass happening at 9:15. And I actually have a son who's a doctor at Hennepin County Medical Center, and he reached out to me at about 5 minutes to 9 to ask if I was okay. And at that point, I was fine. I didn't know why he was asking. And he shared with me that HCMC had just received notification of a mass casualty, mass shooting incident at Annunciation. So at that point, I immediately spoke with our priest and connected with the principal at the school. The school had already been notified by law enforcement in Minnetonka. We're a suburb, probably 15 minutes from where the shooting occurred. And the school was already in a soft lockdown. They had a police presence in our parking lot, and the police stayed here for about 2 hours just to monitor the comings and goings in our parking lot, make sure all the kids got into the building safely. Once the kids were in and mass started, we've gone into a soft lockdown for the day. So all of our perimeter doors are locked. The kids are doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's their second day of school. So they're excited to be here, and we're just trying to keep everything as normal as possible within the building while protecting the area around the building.
Kelly, 2 parts to the question. Number one, were other schools in the area put on lockdown? And I know some Catholic schools have started in that area, but I guess I'm not sure if public schools have already started their school year. But were other schools put on lockdown? Are you aware of that?
I am not aware of any public schools that are actually in session. Typically, our public schools start after Labor Day, and the Catholic schools start usually on the Tuesday prior to Labor Day and get 2 or 3 days in before the holiday weekend. So the reason the police reached out to our school was because they were aware that we had children in the building. So, that as far as I know, it was just Catholic schools that were notified. So
what happens now in your situation for the rest of the day? Does something change because of this?
We always have our perimeter doors locked as they relate to the school, but the school and the church offices are in the same building. So we typically have part of our church doors unlocked so that people can come into the office. We have decided that since the school's in a soft lockdown, meaning all of their doors are locked, and I believe their shades are drawn and things like that. We've mirrored that on our side. So where we would normally have a main entrance door unlocked, we're just buzzing vendors and visitors through at this point, and we'll continue to let the school take the lead, and whatever they ask of us, that's what we will do on our side also.
Kelly, can you describe this area? I know Annunciation Catholic School is a little south of Minneapolis, not too far from the airport, a little north and a little west. But is it normally just kind of a quiet area? You know, sort of I know it's part of the city, maybe not truly a suburb, but how would you describe it?
Yeah, I have not personally ever been there. I do have a son who lives within about a 10-block walk from Annunciation, and I think it's primarily residential, and I really don't know a lot about the area. The suburb I'm in is probably 15 minutes removed from where that area is. So I can't speak to it too much.
So I know you're in a soft lockdown for the rest of the day, and you're going to have police patrols more frequently. You had mentioned that you're trying to make this, as normal as possible for kids at the school and church today. But how are the kids at the school and church doing, knowing that they had to go into lockdown because of this mass school shooting not too far from them?
Yeah, I think the teachers at our school do an exceptional job of making sure that the kids know that they're safe. They're in a safe space, they're protected, and that allows them to focus on the learning that they need to do. So I could hear down the hallway a lot of laughter and giggling, as you would expect the first, it's only our second day of school. So kids are excited to reconnect with their friends that they haven't seen all summer, and the lunchroom was loud like it should be. So I think the administration and the teachers are doing a great job of making this just a regular school day. I don't know personally how much information was shared with the students, as far as what has happened beyond our walls. So I think for the most part, they're just doing what they're supposed to be doing today.
Yeah. And one of your sons, you mentioned off the top, my cousin, M, he's a doctor, works at Hennepin County Medical Center where some of these patients are going. I know you heard from him immediately. Have you heard from him since? Because obviously this is a traumatic time at the hospital, but what they are, they know how to do this, unfortunately.
Yes, they do. Unfortunately, they do. He was worried just because this incident happened at another Catholic school, so he just asked me to check in with him throughout the day to let him know how I was doing, which is, just always very thoughtful of him to be thinking about me when he's dealing with things that are happening at a trauma center like he's at. But I've heard from him a couple times throughout the day, just in text messages, and I don't know what he's doing or how things are going over there. But
yeah, super busy over there. Well, such a tragic day. You have multiple law enforcement agencies at this Catholic church and school in Minneapolis after a mass shooting this morning. 2 kids were killed. prompted a lockdown at other schools and churches in the area. And my Aunt Kelly Dennehy works at one of those churches. And Kelly, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome, Jessica. It's good to hear from you.
You too. Time right now is 1:24. Coming up next, we've got your top local stories and national news and the latest on this mass shooting in Minneapolis as well.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Hey, Greg Matzek here. I want to tell you about Siding Unlimited. I've been talking about Siding Unlimited and their incredible projects, incredible craftsmanship, wonderful products right there at their showroom in Brookfield. Whatever you see there, they can put it on your house. They'll beautify your home's exterior like they've done for us. They did our siding when we built our house about 9 years ago. I tell you what, 9 years later, and the LP Smart Side siding still looks great. No warping, zero fading. It looks brand new. The caulking is absolutely perfect, perfect color match. Just incredible installation of a high-quality product. That's what you can get from Siding Unlimited. It's what you will get from Siding Unlimited. Windows, doors, roofing, siding, expand your outdoor living space with a deck or patio project. Talk to Siding Unlimited about it. They've done just about everything for us over the course of about 12 years or so. And they'll do the same for you. Recognized industry-wide as the top installers of Pella windows. Pella has recognized Siding Unlimited as the best in the nation. 5 years in a row. Amazing stuff. It's Siding Unlimited. Visit them online at sidingunlimited.com or stop in at their showroom. It's near Gerke's Corners, right in the Brookfield-Waukesha area off Barker Road. Tell them I sent you. It's Siding Unlimited.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 16 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
So as soon as the name Robin Westman started to make its way out on social media, and through law enforcement and through CBS, who are reporting that Robin Westman is the name of the shooter in Minnesota, 23 years old. Still don't know his connections, full criminal history, if he's connected to that school or church in any way. But immediately, as soon as the name is out, people start to go to work and start doing some digging. Yes. So I would advise you to be cautious. I mean, there's stuff that's floating around social media. It's hard to tell what is real and what is not, but there are indications that this was certainly a planned attack with a booklet of sorts that had a sort of a schematic drawing of the church and where the pews are located and where the doors were located, and it seems to jive with the layout of the school. So there is stuff that indicates a very troubling past, and that this was premeditated with writing on the magazines of the rifle that was used to shoot inside that school. 3 weapons, all 3 were fired at some point during this shootout this morning. So, but disturbing images, disturbing thoughts, already working its way through social media, and as expected, it did not take long.
And KARE 11 up in Minneapolis is reporting some new details right now. You might have heard us say he in regards to 23-year-old Robin Westman. And here's the situation. According to KARE 11's investigative reporter, the shooter was 23-year-old Robin, formerly Robert Westman. Law enforcement sources said that Westman grew up in Richfield and that her mother was an employee at Annunciation School. So KARE 11 up in Minneapolis now reporting that Westman's mother worked at Annunciation School, and there would be the connection.
128 on WTMJ. Further developments, we'll have them for you here throughout the rest of the day.
We've got more big deals in store you won't want to miss this week at Fleet Farm. Preserve your garden's best for less with 15% off all Mrs. Wage's canning mixes. Save up to 30% on all Eukanuba dog food. And get 40 pounds of Diamond Crystal Iron Fighter salt pellets for just $7.29. Do your pups, your pantry, and your pipes a favor with unbeatable savings from Fleet Farm. And check out our weekly ad for even more deals at fleetfarm.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Next December 2026, my wife Michelle and I are taking a Christmas trip that's been on our bucket list for more than a decade. Won't you come with us? Christmas on the Danube with Colette Tours. Beautiful river cruise to the most famous Christmas markets in Europe. December 2026 and a 2-night pre-trip extension to Prague. 6 nights on the beautiful MS Amadeus Riverboat. 68 cabins, each with a great view. Stunning deck cafe, panorama bar. Will be in Vienna. The medieval castle and hillside towns of the Wachau Valley, a 200-year-old fairy tale town of Passau, Germany. John at WTMJ.com, JOHN at WTMJ.com. Send me an email. I send you the beautiful information, including pricing. Or join me at the WTMJ studios, where you can meet me and the folks from Colette on September 23rd at 6:30 downtown our studio, but you need to RSVP.
Let me show you the world. Come away with me.
John at WTMJ.com. Send me an email. I send you the info.
At Advent, nasal congestion and sinus infections can be solved with an in-office 20-minute procedure. Elsewhere, expect surgery.
It's 1:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 27th. Your top story, getting dismissed by not following the rules.
I'm Jessica Tighe. Jail time for involvement in a prostitution ring.
Increasing clouds today, a chance for an evening shower, high 76. Overnight low 60 degrees. It's currently 74 and sunny in Milwaukee.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. In Minneapolis, 2 children are dead and 18 others injured after a mass shooting at the Annunciation Catholic School today. Police say the gunman was armed with a shotgun, rifle, and pistol and opened fire as students were attending Mass at church. Police Chief Brian O'Hara says it was marking the first week of school.
During the Mass, a gunman approached on the outside, on the side of the building, and began firing a rifle through the church windows towards the children sitting in the pews at the Mass.
Authorities are now searching the shooter's background, and a source tells ABC News that includes a YouTube video posted before the shooting. President Trump spoke with Minnesota Governor Tim Walz earlier, offering condolences. The White House says the president has ordered U.S. flags be lowered to half-staff until Sunday at federal buildings, military posts, and embassies abroad in honor of the victims. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. A lawsuit dismissed over not following state statutes. A Milwaukee County judge throwing out the lawsuit from the Oak Creek Neighbors United against the city of Oak Creek over the construction of Buc-ee's. City of Oak Creek lawyer Nathan Bayer, how procedures were not followed in the process.
There's a process where a municipality has to be placed on notice of a lawsuit, and then there's a statutory period of time for them to either affirm or deny the claim. And then there's some procedural steps under the statute that have to be followed before the lawsuit can be filed at circuit court, and that's basically what the court said.
Oak Creek Neighbors United says they will refile their lawsuit against the city.
A former Milwaukee County public defender is heading to jail for his role in a prostitution case. 54-year-old Travis Schwantes will spend 45 days behind bars and pay $4,000 in fines after pleading guilty last month to a felony for falsifying records and 2 misdemeanors tied to prostitution. Prosecutors say Schwantes paid for sex with women, including some he represented in court, and even falsified paperwork to qualify one woman for public defender services. 2 other felony counts were dropped as part of a plea deal.
An elementary school principal in Germantown who was facing termination instead decides to resign. MacArthur Elementary School principal Tony Gonzalez submitted his resignation Monday to the district. The school board Tuesday night unanimously approved the resignation. School board president Russ Ewert.
Yesterday, we received a letter of resignation from the administrator. At that time, it changes this from a termination hearing to a closed session regarding consideration for administrator's resignation.
The letter to parents noted Gonzalez was on a leave of absence and not expected to return as principal. That did not provide reason for Gonzalez's leave.
Village of Pewaukee officers are equipped with new gear. The equipment includes Guardian Angel shoulder lights that provide a 360-degree visibility, assist with paperwork, traffic stops, and crowd control. Pewaukee Detective Craig Drummy.
Been on the force for 26 years now, so I wish I had it a long time ago when I worked at night. So yeah, there's
plenty of circumstances where if we're out in a field and someone goes, well, where is that subject? You turn on your light. You wouldn't have to turn it on long, but at least somebody would be able to identify where you are. So it would help.
The new lights are expected to improve officer safety and efficiency during evening operations.
And a Milwaukee community grocery store and cafe could be in its final days of operation.
The River West Co-op has revealed plans to either close up shop or restructure in an email sent to members Monday. The co-op's board of directors cites recent history and responsibilities to the community as reasons for the move, while also noting the organization has suffered, quote, mounting financial losses. Last year, the co-op received a $150,000 grant used to help reopen their adjacent cafe. A special membership meeting is planned for September 10th. The co-op will stay open ahead of that meeting. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
It's the Oak Creek Lions Fest Friday through Labor Day, and this year's lineup is rocking with 3 live music venues, family fun, games, carnival rides, the Oak Creek Lions Big Money $8,000 cash raffle, helicopter rides, and live local band favorites jamming every day. Featuring great food with Friday's fish fry, Saturday's famous steak sandwiches, along with their ever-popular pork and beef sandwiches on Sunday and Monday. All 3 stages will be playing great hits with the hottest in local live music from American Graffiti, Bella Kane, Third Coast Blues Collective, Florit, The Toys, The Blues Disciples, Line Dance, 33 RPM, and Reverend Raven and Westside Andy with the Chain-Smokin' Altar Boys, along with many other great bands. Don't miss the 2025 Oak Creek Lions Fest, 2 miles east of I-94 and 3 blocks north of Ryan Road at 9327 South Shepherd Avenue. Free admission, free parking. Friday through Labor Day, it's Oak Creek Lions Fest. Find out more at oakcreeklions.com. oakcreeklions.com.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Trees on the Move, offering ideas for outdoor living and beautifying with landscape consultation, design, and installation, including retaining walls, paved patios, tree trimming, and more. Trees on the Move's been offering landscape services for over 47 years and now offers stamped and colored concrete drives, patios, and sidewalks. Beautify your yard this year with Trees on the Move. TreesOnTheMove.com.
From planning to planting, Trees on the Move.
Take your family to the Mine Shaft Restaurant in Hartford or Oshkosh today for the Wednesday all-you-can-eat fish fry and just $7.99. Kids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. Just walk in for your $7.99 fish fry. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mine Shaft Restaurant.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers win Tuesday night. Cubs lose. That means Milwaukee owns a 6.5-game lead over Chicago for first place in the division. Heading into tonight's game, Milwaukee taking on the Diamondbacks, looking for its 3rd win in a row. Coverage begins following the 6 o'clock news. And a potential shakeup here in the NFL. Dallas Cowboys edge rusher Micah Parsons wants out, requesting a trade after a breakdown in contract negotiations. One issue, perhaps?
There's interest across the league in Micah, but I don't think anybody feels right now like Dallas is going to realistically trade him. That's the bigger issue.
Packers fans trying to manifest Parsons to the team. Parsons has earned All-Pro honors in each of his first 4 seasons in the NFL.
Let's get you an update right now on your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. In Racine County, we do have an incident. Wisconsin 83 South is completely closed right now beyond Highway 20 near High Drive. This is because of a car fire out there. Wisconsin 83 South is closed right now beyond Wisconsin 20 High Drive because of a fire. I wish we had cameras in that area because, I always like to take a peek at the cameras and let you know just how bad it is. Unfortunately, no cameras in this area, but I did want to let you know in case you're headed that way in Racine County.
Well, 74 and sunny, beautiful day here. Could that change this evening? Looks like if there's any chance of rain, it would be tonight, maybe lingering into tomorrow morning. For that, we welcome in the expert, Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky, TMJ4 News. Hey, Niz.
Hey, what's up? Expert, loosely used expert.
No, definitely. You are the man, no doubt about it. Well, it's a high five here, what your favorite weather person sort of day today, at least right now. But is that going to change later on?
Yeah, so we are watching a cold front dropping down, and eventually we will get some showers and storms, but I really think the better chances are going to be like later tonight, like midnight and on. Sure, a scattered shower or storm even could fire up sooner than that, like earlier in the evening, 8, 9 o'clock, but it really looks like the basic principle dynamics, we got to wait for that cold front to drop down. And that won't be until late tonight for us to see our rain chances increasing. Now, there have been a couple computer model runs that do bubble up a stray little shower prior to that, but I think that would be more of like the 5 to 10% chance you land under one of those during the evening hours. You can kind of see that in the making right now. You have those kind of puffy cumulus clouds trying to get going. So there's definitely some instability. We're starting to see a rise in the air mass. And so the best I could say is like evening hours when most of us are out and about, 5 to 10% chance. Then that chance goes up above, 60, 70% after midnight tonight.
And what about tomorrow? Are we also looking at a chance for showers and storms tomorrow?
Yeah, so again, I think the best chance with this is with the passing or just before the passing of the cold front. That's where you have the biggest lift. That's where you have the most dynamics to fire some things off. And that occurs late tonight into early tomorrow morning. However, it does look like there's a little secondary boundary that drops down like midday afternoon tomorrow. So while the early morning hours, 5, 6 o'clock, have the best chance of rain, I think in the afternoon there is a small chance, like 10 to 20%, that we get a couple more little showers to pop up. But they would be very, very brief and very quick moving. Again, this isn't going to give us a ton of rain. I would be shocked if anywhere even got like a half inch of rain out of all of this. I think most locations are going to be a quarter inch or less.
Well, tomorrow is supposed to be among the busiest travel days, especially those traveling by air for the Labor Day weekend. Travel forecast into the weekend is, what are we looking at here for our last hurrah this summer?
Yeah, so we get through our chances tonight into early tomorrow. It's smooth sailing. It looks wonderful. On Friday, we're looking at sunshine again. Saturday, sunshine. Sunday, sunshine. And even now Labor Day, I think, is looking mostly sunny. There is a small chance that some storms return Labor Day Monday night. But I think we get through the entire weekend dry. Most models are consistent on showing that. And starting off again a little bit on the cool side. Tomorrow highs maybe upper 60s, then only around 70 on Friday and low 70s Saturday. But by Sunday and Monday, we could be well into the 70s and maybe close to 80 degrees again. So overall, I think the Labor Day weekend looks darn good.
And Brian, what about across the state? Have you looked at that, the forecast for across the state? Because I know Labor Day is one of those days where a lot of people like to get out, but sometimes they stay close to home. Maybe people are going to the Dells or going to Door County or another spot in the state.
Yeah, so we have high pressure that's eventually going to take over again, and that center of high pressure is going to be to the east of us, northeast of us. And what that means is the closer you get to the center of the high, you have a better chance of staying completely dry. We find ourselves in a very good position. Now, as you find, if you go into western Wisconsin, into Minnesota, Iowa, you start to position yourself a little bit farther away from that high pressure. So not going to be a washout, but I could see maybe some scattered shower chances returning later weekend into like locations like La Crosse and Eau Claire. But again, that chance looks to be pretty small. It's just that the window there could close in a little bit sooner.
Any 80s in the long-range forecast? I'm not ready to be done with 80-degree temperatures yet, Brian.
I think so. I think even next week, I think there's a chance that we even squeeze out 80 on Labor Day. Right now, I think I haven't put together today's official forecast, but last night I was up to 78, I think, for Monday. I could see things trending that if we don't hit it Monday, maybe we hit it on Tuesday. So, yeah, there's some warm air still to go out there. Not a huge warm-up, but, yeah, still some summer-like stuff.
I'm glad you emailed Mother Nature and said, please just have it warm up around the holiday. That'd be great. Yeah. We appreciate it.
Totally. And even today is noticeably warmer. You can feel today has that more little summer vibe to it. So get outside and enjoy it before another little shot of fall comes tomorrow.
All right. Appreciate it, Niz. We'll check it again tomorrow.
Have a good one.
All right. Sounds good, guys. Yep. See ya.
Yep. Take care. 1:43 in WTMJ, our weekly wellness check coming up next. Dr. Weston is out. Dr. Michael McCrea is in after this.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, if you're looking to beautify your home's interior with regard to window treatments, got an idea for you. Really is the go-to place. It's Bumblebee Blinds, Milwaukee. We had Darren out to the house a couple of weeks ago. Honest, on time, had samples, had some things we had never seen before, had all sorts of different colors, really cool materials, stuff that I guess the average big box store isn't going to have. Right there, Bumblebee Blinds. It came to our house with a free consultation. And it's about designing a project with you. It's not about, selling window treatments specifically. No, they want to design it. They want to make it look right. They want to make sure if you want light out, they've got the products for that. If you want to let more light in, they can help you with that as well. Custom blinds and window treatments, expert advice, and stress-free installation. They are such kind people at Bumblebee Blinds, Milwaukee. Really is blinds made easy. Refresh your home in a simple, easy, and very effective way by booking a free consultation today. Do it today. I encourage you. It's Bumblebee Blinds, Milwaukee. High-quality blinds with professional guidance and stress-free installation. We've had a wonderful experience. You will as well. Book now at Bumblebee Blinds, Milwaukee.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 255368.
At Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage, our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the banks or the mortgage guys with the Rocket for exactly the same rate. Find out how much you can save at accunet.com.
When's the last time you hopped out of bed without that knee or your back just aching? Or you walked down a flight of stairs without groaning, step by step, right? When's the last time you felt good? The pain never disappears, nothing changes, and you just kind of tough it out. WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. Well, the time is now to set up your free consultation with the pros at QC Kinetics. Their regenerative treatments help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. Natural cellular therapies that can help you. There's no knives, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. You can set up a consultation for free, and you can bring your x-rays and your old MRIs for a no-pressure chat and a thorough evaluation. Call QC Kinetics. Worst case, you learn something new. Best case, you get your life back. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Now that you're ready to purchase a new bike, do yourself a solid by stopping by one of our Wheel and Sprocket stores to test ride an electric bike, better known today as an e-bike. And let me tell you, these bikes are a game changer because you can ride a whole lot further without even breaking a sweat. We're talking 20 to 50 miles on a single charge. So even riding uphill comes with tons of thrills. But before you decide, stop by any of our Wheel and Sprocket locations first and let us explain in detail what e-bikes are all about. And once you're here, you'll find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride. After all, here at Wheel and Sprocket, we love bikes, which is why bikes are all we do.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket. Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Time for a weekly wellness check. Dr. Ben Weston is out today. Dr. Michael McCrea is in, neuropsychologist in the Medical College of Wisconsin. Dr. McCrea, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Greg. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. A really important time of the year with high school students ramping up football and even soccer, anything that could involve some sort of blow to the head from a ball or collision. It really comes into focus this time of year as we get into the fall sports season. You've got such wonderful experience in covering and treating traumatic brain injuries. Over 30 years, you have devoted your career to this. How are concussions being diagnosed today? How has that changed from the time you entered the profession?
Yeah, I think that's the best place to start this conversation, Greg. It's really been nothing short of a sea change from 30 years ago, back to the the days when really concussion was not really even recognized as an injury entity within sport. And to think of how far we've come now in our awareness, our recognition of injury, the approach that we take in not only diagnosing concussion, but in treating and managing athletes with concussion, it really results in the game, whether it be football, soccer, or other contact and collision sports, being safer than they've ever been before. When you think back to the days when more than 50% of athletes who sustained a concussion on the field of play during practice or games would return to the same contest on the day of injury. There was really no period of rest or recovery. And fast forward now 20 years, and I think our work here has been instrumental in inspiring this change. Most athletes now are observing somewhere in the order of about 15 days from time of injury to time of return to unrestricted time in sport. And that's been really pivotal in allowing adequate time for brain recovery and protecting the health and safety of our young athletes.
You recently had a paper published in The Lancet that proposed a new framework for diagnosing TBIs. What's new or different about this approach, and how is it an improvement over what we use today?
Yeah, thank you, Jessica. So very briefly here, believe it or not, in something as complex as traumatic brain injury, and I'm not talking about just in sport, but at our Level 1 Trauma Center here at Frederick and MCW, victims of motor vehicle crashes, assaults, etc., the best we had to offer in terms of a classification of traumatic brain injury was, quote, mild, moderate, and severe. There's really no disease state on the planet that has that blunt or coarse of a descriptive terminology. And we led this effort through the National Institute of Health over the last 2 years to come up with a more advanced framework for characterizing the components and the severity of traumatic brain injury. Historically, we've used something called the Glasgow Coma Scale that has a score range from 3 to 15, and if you're a 3, you come in deep coma. If you're a 15, you might have had a slight concussion and you come in and you're barely even confused. And we knew we had to do better than that, just for our providers and for our patients alike. And this new system now takes into account the clinical characteristics, but we're also introducing blood-based biomarkers that tell us a lot about specific pathologies of traumatic brain injury, more advanced imaging such as CAT scan and MRI. And then the fourth leg of the stool, in this new CBIM model, are modifiers. And that we've learned over the years, there are medical and social and environmental factors that we know influence survival, recovery, and outcome after traumatic brain injury, and we want to include that in our total characterization of the patient so that we can provide the best individualized care that give our patients the maximum chance at the best outcome as well.
Dr. McCree, I wanted to ask you about the Guardian caps. This was kind of new. I remember being on the sidelines at Packers training camp, and Aaron Jones, the former Packers running back, came off the sidelines. And I said, what in the world is that thing you have attached to your helmet? This was a couple of years ago, and now we've seen Guardian caps worn frequently, even at the high school level. And we've also had more time to study and try and understand just how helpful and beneficial these Guardian caps are. What are they, I guess, in layman's terms, and what does the recent research say about their ability to reduce head injuries?
Yeah, you're not alone, Greg. I recall one Sunday when my own mother called me and asked me, what is this contraption that I'm seeing on these football players? So this is really a result of our expanded focus around brain health in sport, particularly in collision sports like football. Obviously, for the last 25 years or so, we've learned a lot, as I mentioned a minute ago, about recognizing concussion and strategies to prevent concussion to improve player safety. But in football, for instance, it's not only about the single high-impact concussion, for instance. It's also about reducing exposure to lower magnitude repetitive impacts for instance, offensive linemen, they're not out in the wide open field taking high velocity impacts like wide receivers, for instance, but they're in the so-called trench experiencing maybe dozens of lower magnitude impacts at a short distance over the course of a game. So the Guardian Cap is a soft outer shell that is blanketed over the exterior of the helmet. Many in the NFL now, these are required in preseason training camp unless you elect to wear one of the 6 highest rated helmets themselves. And it's been widely adopted in the collegiate setting, and I'm sure many of your listeners who have sons who play high school football like I did, that they come home with these Guardian Caps as well. And it's really intended primarily to reduce the magnitude of these low-grade repetitive head impacts during practice, for instance. And there's some data from the NFL of late that suggests that it may even modestly lower the risk of concussion in athletes wearing the Guardian Cap. Those results are a little mixed across studies, and it may be, in fact, that it's just changing the behavior of the player himself, who by wearing this device recognizes that it's best to keep their head out of play.
Do you think,
either way, we believe that reducing head impact exposure is an important step.
do you think Guardian Caps should be required in youth football programs across our country?
I think that's to be debated. There's some discussion that adding more weight to the helmet in a youth football player or to the head above the neck is maybe not indicated. There are a number of strategies adopted by USA Football that are intended to reduce head impact exposure and prevent concussion. I think many of those strategies have better merit than a Guardian Cap or a similar device by itself. So I think that for a period of time here, that'll be a community or club-by-club decision locally. But more importantly, they should be abiding by the recommendations of USA Football to protect the safety of their young athletes.
Well, Dr. McCray, we really appreciate your time. Clinical neuropsychologist and professor of neurology and neurosurgery at the Medical College of Wisconsin, pinch hitting for Dr. Weston this week. Great information. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Dr. McCray.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, our pleasure. It's 1:56. 2 o'clock news is coming up.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based, Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Well, I'm excited to take a trip out to Flanner's Home Entertainment tomorrow. I like checking out all the new stuff before the football season begins. Now's a great time to connect with the folks at Flanner's. If your audio and video system in your home, it could use a bit of a technology upgrade. You know what I'm talking about. You want to watch that movie or the big game on a better screen, a bigger screen, maybe better resolution, higher resolution, picture, sound quality. That's why you have locally owned Flanner's right here in southeastern Wisconsin with the solutions, all the cool stuff, the installation experts, and countless ways to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Not all about wires and all sorts of crazy noises coming from every portion of your house. No, they've designed plans that will help fit your space perfectly. That's what they do with you. They will work with you to design a project for your home or wherever your space is in your home. In an age of impersonable big box stores and those risky online purchases, I'll kick those to the curb. Connect with Flanner's. Locally owned, quality service, the best brands all right there, and the best prices, all top priorities for Flanner's. Stop by the showroom in West Dallas, stop by in Grafton, or visit Flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
An unsuspecting driver at a Milwaukee barbershop.
I got an apprentice here shadowing me. I'm gonna put this hot towel on, man. About a good 3 minutes, all right?
The apprentice is Donald Driver.
So when you come here, you drive?
Yes.
Your car got seatbelts?
Yeah.
You wear them?
No.
Okay, but why not?
I don't want to.
But do you know you can get a ticket for that? I'm gonna give you a ticket. Bet you wish you buckle up now.
Oh my God. Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Take it, click it. There we go. Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways. Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
Get a clear picture of their eye health at Shopko Optical with back-to-school comprehensive eye exams. Vince Vetrano here for the experienced team at Shopko Optical, which can put your child at ease by encouraging them through the process and explaining their findings in a comfortable and relaxed environment. Feel confident that you're sending them back to class looking and feeling their best with personalized care and premium eyewear from Shopko Optical. Visit shopko.com to schedule an appointment today.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It's there all day, and it never goes away. I hate pain. It robs us of so much. But if you take action today, your pain could be gone tomorrow. Because at Rejuvenex, we harness the power of Toradol and hyaluronic acid to calm the inflammation and cushion joints. Rejuvenex treatments are safe, they're FDA approved, and in most cases, insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, pays for them. At as low as $65 per injection per joint, our treatments are affordable. It's not a gimmick. It's pharmacological medicine administered in office in a simple and convenient manner. And with it, our patients have been able to avoid risky surgery and begin to stop the onset of arthritis. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we've made pain treatment as easy and affordable as it can be.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Hey, the rest of this month, here in August, you've got a ticket to a cash carnival at Potawatomi. Pretty cool stuff here. Potawatomi Hotel Casinos, where you got to be to play with your rewards card and earn entries to win your share of $300,000 in cash in prizes. It is up for grabs, and you could win your share. Prize drawings every Thursday through August 28th, so the last one is tomorrow. Your fortune awaits only at Potawatomi. Visit Potawatomi.com. Must be 21 years or older and a rewards member to play.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Okay, we'll send these snakes slithering back to the desert.
Crack! Wall! See you later!
It's the Brewers and Diamondbacks in Milwaukee. This series is sponsored by Steinhaffel's Labor Day Sale. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Wednesday, August 27th. Your top story, tragedy in Minneapolis.
I'm Jessica Tighe, taking control of the tracks in D.C.
Chance of rain very late tonight and possibly lingering into tomorrow morning. Should be a lot of sun today. Don't expect clouds to roll in until very much later this evening or tonight. Partly sunny on Thursday, a high of 70 after those morning showers. 75 and sunny in Milwaukee. At 2:01 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom, 2 school-aged children are dead, 17 others injured in a shooting at a Minneapolis Catholic school. Police say the 23-year-old shooter, identified as Robin Westman, died after the gunfire at the Annunciation Catholic School. He acted alone. WCCO's Taylor Rivera.
The shooter is being described as a man in his early 20s who died by suicide on the church grounds, following what O'Hara called a deliberate act of violence against innocent children.
Our hearts are broken for the families who have lost their children, for these young lives that are now fighting to recover, and for our entire community that has been so deeply traumatized by this senseless attack.
The incident occurred as the church marked the first week of school for students.
CBS News is reporting that Mary Grace Westman, Robin Westman's mother, had worked as an administrative assistant at the Annunciation School. According to a school newsletter, she retired from the Church of the Annunciation in 2021. It appears the shooter, Robin, attended the school.
Governor Tony Evers has now submitted that formal request to President Trump for a disaster declaration following our historic flooding in southeastern Wisconsin this month.
The request includes Milwaukee, Washington, and Waukesha counties for FEMA's Individual Assistance Program. Governor Evers says initial damage reports collected by the state indicate more than $43 million in public sector damage. The ultimate decision to approve or deny the request will rest with President Trump. Vice President J.D. Vance will visit La Crosse Thursday to tout the president's recently passed spending bill. No word on whether the VP will comment on Governor Evers' request. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The federal government is reasserting its control of Washington's Union Station. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
The move would have the Transportation Department managing D.C.'s train station, sidelining a private redevelopment corporation and Amtrak, which have been jointly running it. Union Station suffered a significant retail exodus in the pandemic from which it hasn't fully recovered. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says his department will focus on improving the safety and cleanliness of the historic station, which is owned by the federal government.
There's going to be a change of venue in the Lily Peters murder trial. 17-year-old Carson Petersberger is now being charged as an adult in the death and sexual assault of 10-year-old Lily Peters of Chippewa Falls. Peters was found dead near a walking trail in April of 2022 after not returning home from a bike ride. Petersberger was 14 at the time of the murder. His lawyers argued he wouldn't get a fair trial in Chippewa County after all the publicity and memorials still on display. The judge agreed. A trial date has not been set yet.
Well, Wauwatosa's troll sculpture has an ear infection. Hornets have built a nest in the crook of Mama Rosa's right ear. Wauwatosa Parks and Forestry tell the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel they do not plan to remove the nest because it's well over 10 feet above a public walkway. That means it's safe to stand by the troll. The bald-faced hornets, a native species of yellow jackets, will inhabit the nest until the first hard frost. The queen will emerge in spring and look for a new area to make that nest.
It's just a wild story. It reminds me, we've got to reach out to our good friend now, the artist of this, of Mama Rosa, Thomas Dambo, and see if he's ever had anything like this. I imagine it's happened in other places.
Yeah, hornet's nest in the ear of one of his trolls. Has that ever happened before? Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Lots of green this afternoon. The Dow up nearly 200 points at 45,603. NASDAQ up a little short of 50 points at 21,590. S&P 500 up about 17 at 6482. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters. They painted the outside of our house. It was fantastic. I've got a big deck. They really had to navigate on 2 levels. The guys took their time. They paid attention to detail. They did it right around the deck. My whole house looks fantastic. Trim and siding, it's great. It's CertaPro Painters. Schedule fills up fast, so now's the time to plan your project. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or business. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They are the best. They're CertaPro Painters.
What are you doing every day to support your liver? If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Protect your liver and give it the support that it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. The Brewers look to make it 3 in a row tonight over the Diamondbacks. Milwaukee begins the day's 6.5 games ahead of the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. The Packers continue with their in-season schedule, preparing for a September 7th opener against the Detroit Lions at Lambeau Field. The team signed 16 players to its practice squad, including veteran wide receiver Mecole Hardman. And the college football season begins for the Wisconsin Badgers Thursday night at home against Miami of Ohio. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. We do have one new incident, this one in Waukesha County. I-43 South. Let's take a peek at that. I-43 South, right around the ramp from Moreland Road. So that's a busy spot. The right shoulder is blocked. It's actually right after the curve. You're coming around, you see the curve, boom, it's right there. They're calling it an incident. What I can see in the cameras is there is a car that's pulled over and emergency responder behind it. So not sure yet whether that incident is a crash or somebody just got pulled over, but that is what we have right now. Brand new I-43 South, right around the ramp from Moreland Road. Right shoulder is blocked.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Every Monday and Thursday, buy one pizza, get a second pizza absolutely free at the Mineshaft Family Restaurant in downtown Hartford. Google the Mineshaft today.
Overall, very nice day today. Comfortable temperatures, high of 76 degrees, 75 right now in downtown Milwaukee. Rain chances grow later tonight. Talking to Niz earlier, he thinks more of an overnight kind of thing. Maybe lingering into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon, we top out about 70 degrees. Sun should come back. Friday, mostly sunny, a little cooler, high of 66. Saturday's high 70. 75 and sunny in Milwaukee at 210.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzek and Jessica Tighe.
Hope your Wednesday's going all right. Greg and Jessica with you until 2 o'clock. Wisconsin's afternoon news picks up at 3. We've got Brewers baseball just after the 6 o'clock news. And some big stories we're following here today.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, a shooting erupts during the first week of classes at a Catholic school in Minneapolis. The FBI is there at the scene right now. Shooting happened at Annunciation Catholic School in a highly populated area. 2 children are dead. Nearly 20 people are hurt. That's the latest according to law enforcement officials. The suspect is dead. Here's the mayor of Minneapolis today with a heartfelt message.
These were Minneapolis families. These were American families. And the amount of pain that they are suffering right now is extraordinary. And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country.
Minneapolis police chief gave an update as well. He said the shooter had a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. The shooter, now identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman, formerly Robert Westman, was outside in the parking lot and shot through the church windows. I know some of you right now are probably thinking, okay, what's the connection? Does the shooter have a connection to the school? Well, here's the latest on that. According to CBS News, the suspect's mother, Mary Grace Westman, had worked as an administrative assistant at that school, at Annunciation School. That's according to a school newsletter. She also retired from the Church of the Annunciation in 2021, according to a Facebook post from the church, and she had served as a parish secretary. And it appears that the shooter did attend that school.
So 23 years old, you could do the math. Roughly maybe 5 years ago, was a graduating senior. Though I think the school actually goes to 6th grade.
6th grade,
right?
Is what
Okay,
we've heard,
so we have to redo the math on that. So it presumably had been some time since he had been at the school as a student, but family connection there as well. We talked to Scott McFarland, our CBS congressional correspondent, about 12:35 today, and he confirmed with local hospitals that 7 are being treated for critical injuries as a result of the shooting. So 2 are dead, we know that, but hopefully that number does not grow at all, but certainly many are being treated now at area hospitals in the Minneapolis area. Well, you've likely heard this before, but Labor Day weekend expected to be a record travel weekend. Air travel expected to really ramp up here beginning tomorrow. TSA saying about 17 million passengers could be screened, and the roadways could also be packed.
Rental cars actually are on average cheaper when booked within 7 days of the trip than booked 3 months out. And then with hotels, you can use sites like Hotel Tonight to find those last-minute hotel room deals.
That's Sally French from NerdWallet. So the FAA says that tomorrow, let me try that again. The FAA says that tomorrow will be the busiest travel day. 52,000 flights are forecasted, and that is an insane amount of air travel. 17 million travelers will pass through TSA between tomorrow and September 3rd. We don't have firm details from AAA on how many miles people will travel if they're on the road, but they do have interesting information on which cities are the most popular for Labor Day travel. Seattle, Orlando, and New York, the 3 most popular cities according to AAA.
Orlando.
Orlando's always on the list.
People want to go to Disney.
No matter what it is. And New York it's not very difficult to get to, right? You could hop over there and do a long weekend. You could do the same thing in Boston, right? Easy flight, especially from the Midwest. Seattle was kind of curious, but then I thought further about it. I would bet the Alaskan cruise is pretty popular around this time of year.
Ooh.
And pretty good bet that's popping out of Seattle.
And then you get a lot of families around here. They're just jumping in the car and going somewhere in Wisconsin to stay close to home.
Absolutely. It is 2:15 on WTMJ.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. They make it a priority to give back to their customers, communities, and their employees. In fact, Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 16 years in a row. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
Wisconsin's hometown pizza is Palermo's. Boy, it's always a great time to support local and eat great. Well, there you go. That's the perfect marriage. It is Palermo's, made in Wisconsin for over 60 years, and they've got a slice for every appetite. If you like a thicker crust, I encourage you to check out the neighborhood pizzeria. Pizza, even the Surfer Boy, which is delicious. My personal favorite is Screamin' Sicilian, overflowing with toppings, just absolutely incredible. If you want a more thin crust, you can accomplish that with Primo Thin or even the Urban Pie. It really is a slice for every appetite with Palermo's. Check out the Cheez-It frozen pizza. You heard me right, Cheez-It. Cool collaboration here with a favorite snack, and that crust is made with 100% real cheese, topped with your favorite toppings, cooks in about 10 minutes. There you go. Cheez-It frozen pizza made by Palermo's for just $7.99 right now at Pick and Save. Grab one, grab a couple, stock up the freezer, put one on the table tonight. For dinner, it's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back September 9th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Texas Rangers.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in September 9th at 7:05 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Chance of rain doesn't come into the picture until very late tonight, according to Brian Niznansky. It could linger into tomorrow as well. Should be plenty of sun on Thursday and a high of 70 degrees after that morning round of rain and perhaps some clouds. That should drift off and should be a pretty nice day. Friday's high just 68 degrees. Saturday and Sunday, temperatures in the low to mid 70s and plenty of sun. 75 and sunny in Milwaukee at 218.
A new app launches in Milwaukee today called Too Good to Go. In a nutshell, it takes extra food from our local businesses and provides it to you at a discount. Chris McCulley is the vice president for the North American division of Too Good to Go, and he joins us live on the line. Thanks for joining the show here in Milwaukee, Chris.
My pleasure. Good to be with you.
So can you walk us through how the Too Good to Go app works?
Sure. Start by downloading the app in either the App Store or the Google Play Store for consumers. And once you open it up and register, you get presented, the app uses your location to show you potential partners that you might be interested in getting surplus food from. So you simply, based on where you are, pick a place you might be interested in, like Honey Dip Donuts or Rosati's Pizza. They're offering a surprise bag of their leftovers. You click on that, you make the purchase in the app, you're given a pickup window, so you can, typically come get the pizza from between 6 and 7 p.m., for example. And once you've made the purchase in the app, you just show up, show them your phone, and they hand you a surprise bag. The key to it is that you don't know what you're going to get because it's the leftovers that they've got at the end of the day. But you do know you've gotten a great deal because typically if you spend $5, you're getting $15 worth of value, for example.
So when I was in college here, Chris, there's a place called Herbert's in Gerbert's. May or may not have run by Herbert's in Gerbert's for a late night sub. And they would have day-old bread. It was wrapped. It was kind of on the counter. So as you were checking out, it was sort of an impulse buy. But for $1, you could get like 24 inches of their bread. It wasn't made that day. It was made the day before, but it wasn't fresh bread. They were a fresh bread kind of place. Same idea here, right? In that case, it was just bread, but it was still delicious.
Exactly. So, so much food is wasted today. 40% of all food just gets thrown straight into the bin. And so it's a perfect example of food that's perfectly good that you can use in all sorts of ways for dips or make a sandwich. And this is what we're doing at scale to capture that food, and instead of having it go into the bin, have it end up on people's tables where you get to share it and enjoy it with your family and friends.
Was that the goal of Too Good to Go when it first got started, just to be a solution to food waste?
That's correct. So we like to think of the business model as a win-win-win. I think the company's been around since 2016. It's a win for our partners because they work hard to put together food that consumers want to love and enjoy. And it's hard to make and I don't know of any food business that's going to make the exact right amount of food, where they run out perfectly at the end of every day. And so they get a win by not having to throw as much food out into the bin. Consumers get an incredible deal. Great food. They get introduced to new potential restaurants and food businesses they haven't heard of before. So that's a win for consumers, and then it's a win for the environment as well. So we're the category maker in this space, and we're very pleased to be live in Milwaukee.
Well, and this is kind of a nation and worldwide thing. There's Too Good to Go in Canada. There's Too Good to Go in Australia, and then big cities across the United States. So how many businesses roughly in the Milwaukee area, Chris, has Too Good to Go partnered with? Or do the businesses find Too Good to Go and sort of opt in and put their menu, for lack of a better term, online for you to view?
Yeah, so, to answer the second question first, any business can opt in and join. They can just simply go to our website, and it's super easy to fill out a form, and then we immediately get in touch, and it takes less than an hour to get set up and making your food surplus available in our app. While we're announcing that we're live today, we actually have 70 partners already participating in and around Milwaukee. We've already saved 17,000 meals, so we're very excited about our start, and we're really excited to keep adding both partners and consumers.
Okay, that number impresses me because honestly, I thought, okay, first day here, launching it, I didn't really expect there to be that many, but the foodie in me wants to know, I know you named a couple, but some more of the restaurants in the Milwaukee area and the food businesses that are already on the app as it launches here today.
Right. I don't know if it makes for a great show for me to run down all the partners, but I've got a few. So Ma Fisher's, Honey Dip Donuts, Bungalow Restaurant, Aztec Bakery. I mentioned Rosati's Pizza. the seafood shacks. I think there's, what we really obviously want from a consumer experience is that when you open that app, you've got a lot of great choices, and maybe you have some favorites that you are already familiar with, and also you are able to find some new food restaurants and businesses that you haven't heard of before that you get to experience.
I just downloaded the app.
Good.
I'm fascinated by it. It's just such a great idea to combat food waste. And yes, I've wondered that too, right? Sometimes you go into a bakery, could be something. It's like, are they really selling all of those pastries in a given day? And the answer is typically no. And then it begs the obvious question, well, what happens, right? They kind of lose out if they have to throw stuff away, and it's wasteful, so the consumer doesn't win. And like you said here's an option to buy at a discount, and it does help everybody.
Absolutely right. And, I think one thing that is for sure, it's not easy to run a restaurant or a bakery or a pizzeria. It's a challenging business, and it's one that we all benefit from. I think, and as customers, we all sort of create the problem by virtue of when we walk in to a business, we expect to have some choice. And so that choice, though, is also driving the amount of food surplus. And so I think this, to your point, helps close that circle and make it a better experience for everybody.
Well, I remember hearing about this in other cities, so I'm excited. Greg and I are both foodies, so we'll be excited to check this out more. And you mentioned Ma Fisher's. I mean, that's a diner. That's an East Side tradition in Milwaukee since 1932. So a lot of people get excited about that. That is Chris McCauley, Vice President for the North American Division of Too Good to Go. Thanks for joining us as you launch today here in Milwaukee.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it and hope you both get some surprise bags soon.
No doubt. Yeah, I'm wondering how far west this goes. There's also Too Good to Go in Europe, along with other cities, big cities here in the state of, well, not only the United States, but state of Wisconsin here, launching in Milwaukee. This will be interesting to see how many people grab onto this. I've not seen Carnivore listed, one of my favorite steak places, but maybe in time.
That's funny that you say that, because I felt like we should just shout over there, hey, Omar, are you out there in the 3rd Street Market Hall? Yeah, Carnivore should jump on this app.
That'd be kind of fun, but really cool. The app is it's a simple download, and you can get notifications sent your way if you want. You can also just sort of plug in where you are, and then you'd see boop, 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 different restaurants pop up where you could stop and grab food at a discount.
Yeah, and for some of you who are watching on your streaming, we had a little video going on during that interview, and it's just, you just get this bag. It's simple. Here's your bag. Here's your bagels that are still good to go, but maybe they don't want to sell them tomorrow because they baked them today.
Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. 2:25 here on WTMJ News coming up in just a few minutes.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in the state of Wisconsin. If you got a busted garage door, hey, don't worry about it. Give my friends at Geis a call today. They are the experts in getting you back up and running. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, visit GeisDoors.com or stop by that showroom. It's in Brookfield, just off Barker Road. When you go to the showroom, you will notice what I noticed, and that is a massive inventory with brands like CHI and LiftMaster in stock and ready to go for you. They also have a very cool custom design center because your project might be just that, custom. Well, you need the folks at Geis to help you through that process. Don't think twice. Call Geis and visit GeisDoors.com.
When you come to Kendor Marine, you'll find parts you didn't even know you needed. And if you're a boating enthusiast, like I know you are, then you're going to love wandering the aisles here. We've staked our reputation on thinking just like you. So we know what you need now and what you're going to need later to keep your boat in tip-top shape. This is Dave Doro, and boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters, cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
KendorMarine.com.
Hey, boaters!
We have the go-to marine store. And it's not just because we have all the boat parts and supplies you'll ever need, including oddball parts you thought you'd never be able to find. And it's also because we're cheaper than the other guys, too. So why shop anywhere else? This is Dave Doro from Kendor Marine. Boaters in the know exactly where to go. Kendor Marine, 57th and Ryan Road in Franklin.
Hey, boaters! Cruise to Kendor Marine. We got everything you need but the water.
Vince Vetrano for Matrix Basement Finishing. Transition is a natural part of life and a great time to update your home. Turn that unfinished lower level into a playroom for the kids. Or transition. Kids are moving out. Time to reclaim the downstairs for your she space or man cave. Transition. Kids are moving back. Add a bedroom or a bath to the basement. Share your vision with my team at Matrix, and they'll take care of the rest. For special pricing, visit matrixbasements.com/VITRANO Vetrano.
Don't miss the Alan Parsons Live Project, coming to the Riverside Theater Saturday, September 13th. One of rock's most spectacular sonic and visual experiences. The Alan Parsons Live Project will take you on a journey like no other. The Show Must Go On tour promises a night of progressive rock hits and a unique live concert experience that has captivated audiences worldwide. Tickets are on sale now at papstheatergroup.com or tune into What's on Tap August 28th and September 2nd for your chance to win.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
It's 2:30. I'm Greg Matzek. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story, Buc-ee's moves one step closer to construction.
I'm Jessica Tighe. Jail time after faking his own death.
Chance of rain late tonight. Otherwise, partly sunny on Thursday and a high of 70. It's 75 in Milwaukee.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. In Minneapolis, an 8- and 10-year-old are dead and 17 others injured following a mass shooting at a Catholic school. Police Chief Brian O'Hara says the heavily armed gunman shot through windows of the church during Mass.
This worship service was marking the first week of school for children that are attending the Annunciation Catholic School.
Police say the shooter died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Law enforcement sources now investigating the background and social media accounts believed to be associated with the gunman. Here's ABC's Olivia Rubin.
A YouTube video that was posted on the platform earlier today. That video shows an individual flipping through pages of notes. Those notes include what appear to be drawings of guns and including also the drawing of an inside of a church.
President Trump has ordered flags at federal and government facilities be flown at half staff. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. A case to prevent Buc-ee's from being built in Oak Creek has been dismissed.
Judge Glenn Yamahiro told the courtroom Wednesday why he dismissed the case.
I don't believe the court has to address the other claims today because we have a fundamental problem with Civil Procedure 101. The notice of claim was filed the same day the case was filed.
Oak Creek neighbor Paul Sekulovich says if the Buc-ee's is constructed, it will ultimately impact the environmental safety of the community.
I think I can speak for everyone on our block. We don't want it, and hopefully we continue the process and our lawyer can prevent the construction of it.
Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
A former Milwaukee County public defender is headed to jail for his role in a prostitution case.
54-year-old Travis Schwantes will spend 45 days behind bars and pay $4,000 in fines after pleading guilty last month to a felony, falsifying records and 2 misdemeanors tied to prostitution. Prosecutors say Schwantes paid for sex with women, including some he represented in court, and even falsified paperwork to qualify one woman for public defender services. 2 other felony counts were dropped as part of a plea deal. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin man who faked his own death and left the country is now sentenced to 89 days in jail.
Brian Borgward misled police for 89 days last fall after telling his wife he was kayaking. The 45-year-old man actually left his wife and 3 children to meet a woman in Eastern Europe. He issued a social media video when he returned to the U.S. last December.
Good evening. It's Ryan Borgward. I'm in my apartment. I am safe. Secure.
His kayak was found on a Wisconsin lake about 100 miles northwest of Milwaukee. He told police he abandoned it, swam to shore, and then headed to an airport. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
After multiple emergency calls at Bender Park, first responders in Oak Creek are getting new life-saving equipment. That gear includes life jackets, rescue boats, helmets, throw bags, and signage to improve safety. Assistant Fire Chief Jeff Malice explains the goal for these new upgrades.
Last year we had several drownings and multiple near drownings. And into this year, again, we've had multiple water rescue calls. So we're just looking to enhance our response down there.
Oak Creek will also use the new equipment in public safety demonstrations.
American Science and Surplus is closing its mail order warehouse and website. In a posting on their GoFundMe page, owner Patrick Meyer says they failed to renegotiate and relocate their warehouse. The Milwaukee and Geneva stores will be sold to the employees with the hopes to remain open. September 5th will be the last day to place any orders online and use gift cards.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
So, Alex, why don't you tell us about Lion's Tail?
We've been brewing for 10 years, and now we're busy expanding into Milwaukee, trying to get on every shelf of every store and on tap at every restaurant.
How has Horicon Bank been a part of your story?
Horicon Bank understands the needs of small businesses versus working with a big bank. Horicon, they're much like a small business, just like we are. I know most of the people on that team. It's nice working with someone that understands your business.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scafidi, and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. You can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers go for 3 in a row tonight against the Diamondbacks. Game 3 of a 4-game series from American Family Field. Milwaukee 6.5 games ahead of the Cubs for first place in the NL Central. Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Dallas Cowboys edge rusher Micah Parsons requesting a trade out of Dallas after a breakdown in contract negotiations. What are the chances he could end up in Green Bay? ESPN's Adam Schefter.
There's interest across the league in Micah, but I don't think anybody feels right now like Dallas is going to realistically trade him. That's the bigger issue.
Parsons has earned All-Pro honors in each of his first 4 seasons in the NFL.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. Typical delays on 41 in our construction zone. We also have a new disabled vehicle in Milwaukee County. It's on the exit to North Avenue from I-43 South. So heads up right there. New disabled vehicle, broken down car on the exit to North Avenue from I-43 South.
Overall, pretty nice day today with temperatures topping out about 76 degrees. Any rain should be very late tonight, according to Brian Disnansky. Could linger into tomorrow morning. Low of 60 degrees, could be wet. Tomorrow's high 70 degrees. Sun eventually after that morning round of rain and cloudiness. Friday's high just 68 degrees. Weekend looks great and dry with highs in the low to mid 70s. It's 75 and sunny in Milwaukee at 2:38.
It's been a heavy day, a heavy show with the deadly school shooting in Minneapolis. We did this next interview before the shooting today, but we want to air it now as a breather, so to speak, something that might put a smile on your face on this difficult day. Welcome back, everyone. So my mom calls me last night. I'd just gotten home. My husband had just returned from Door County. I was trying to get dinner going before rushing out to a concert along the lakefront. And my mom says, "You broke the news to me." And I said, "Which news?" She said, "The news about Taylor Swift getting engaged." She said she hadn't heard it. She was looking. She hadn't seen it anywhere. She started looking around social media, couldn't see it. She's like, "I hope she didn't get this wrong." I said, "Mom, I never get the news wrong." We were very quick with the breaking news here in Wisconsin's Midday News. Today, we are diving into the details. ABC's Peter Harlambous joins us. And Peter, I have to laugh because recently we have booked you on the appeals court throwing out President Trump's civil fraud lawsuit, battles over deportation, the Epstein case. Now this. How did you get on the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce engagement beat?
It's a wonderful change of pace just for today. I'm personally in the middle of wedding planning myself. I'm getting married to someone who's a Swiftie. So when the news came down, it was a seismic shift in our household. This was, I was covering other things yesterday, but to be honest, nothing kind of compared to kind of the amount of emotion and excitement the Swift-Kelce engagement elicited compared to basically all the other serious stuff I was doing.
Is the world now celebrating? I joke a little there, but seriously, the NFL is posting about it. The president is commenting about it.
It's something that, it was hard to escape yesterday. You mentioned Trump. He was in the middle of a cabinet meeting talking about all the things his administration's doing when this news broke, and a reporter asked for his reaction. And that's not a ridiculous question. I think that's something actually people wanted to see, given the fact that they've had a history there. We've seen response from other global leaders. It's been it's been something that's been embraced by Swift's fans as well as NFL fans. And I guess that's probably the most interesting about this. Since their relationship started 2 years ago, this is a relationship that, despite it being people from two really different facets of society, they have found a way to kind of coexist in this harmony and bring people together from both sides. And that Swifties have now become more interested in the NFL. NFL fans have been kind of more interested in Swift's music or what she's up to. And while there's some people who might be annoyed by the amount this is covered, it's fundamentally kind of an important moment in U.S. society, I would argue. This is going to be like the equivalent of a royal wedding when this actually happens. And as much as we like to talk about more serious news, we can't ignore that this kind of stuff matters and people care about it.
Exactly. In fact, one of my friends, she said exactly that yesterday. She texted me and she said, "This is my royal wedding." So I hear you on that. I know a lot of people, especially Swifties, want to know details. Do we know how the engagement went down, where it was?
So we're beginning to piece those through. According to Travis Kelce's father, this engagement actually happened a few weeks ago. It happened in Lee's Summit, Missouri. And according to Kelce's father, when asked about when they were going to make this public, Travis responded basically whenever Taylor says so. We also know some details about this ring. It is quite a rock. We're talking about a cushion cut, old mine, elongated, a big oval. We don't know the exact size, but experts are saying this is somewhere between 7 and 10 carats, potentially valued somewhere between $250 to $1.2 million. And yes, that's interesting because it's a big rock. But beyond that, it's interesting because this wedding and how it proceeds will kind of have a seismic effect on the wedding industry. We're already seeing that when it comes to diamonds. One share of the diamond company spiked 26% yesterday. We're likely to see changes in how people kind of approach their styles, how they approach their wedding. What they end up doing, starting with this ring and going all the way to the moment they say "I do," is going to fundamentally change, the way couples pursue their weddings.
That is such a good point that I really hadn't thought about. But yes, I even think about the pictures that the two of them posted and all those flowers, the beautiful flowers that they had. By the way, Peter, get ready. The flowers, whoo, they are so expensive for weddings.
I'm aware. That would hit me by surprise, but I've learned my lesson there.
Oh, my goodness. And I guess the dress that she was wearing in the engagement photos is now selling out too?
That's exactly right. It's sold out online already. There's already tremendous interest in this engagement ring designer, Kindred Lubeck. She's based out of New York with a company called Artifacts. She's interestingly not necessarily the kind of designer you'd expect to do like a high-profile ring like this. It's not like Taylor Swift went to Tiffany's and asked them for something. Kelsey himself helped design this thing with a kind of a more old-school designer, a young woman who's kind of made a name for herself for kind of hand engraving these rings. She's certainly expected to see kind of a boom in business after this big client, and we'll have to see. I think being kind of a contractor on this wedding is probably going to be the best thing that can happen to you professionally, and not advertising-wise. It's the kind of thing that, this is the kind of wedding that people remember, that people will dream about having similar ones one day. So we're going to really see a wedding boom, I think.
And it's kind of interesting with these two high-profile people. The engagement story sounds just kind of lovely. I mean, it could have been all out. He could have taken her in a private jet to some remote island, and this is just in his backyard. He's like, come out and have a glass of wine, honey, and then boom, he gets down on a knee.
I think it kind of goes to the nature of their relationship. So about 2 weeks ago, Taylor Swift appeared on the Kelsey Brothers podcast. This is New Heights. This was really one of the most open and kind of transparent interviews she's given in years. She spoke for 2 hours about everything from football to her, hobby making sourdough bread. And one thing that she said is that, in a way, one thing that they both discussed was in a way how Travis Kelce kind of just followed the instructions that she's been dropping throughout her, decades of music about how she would like to be wooed, how she would like to have this kind of love story. And that I think that's one thing that kind of resonated with a lot of fans hearing that, the fact that he was just kind of listening. And it seems like the engagement took the same kind of cues, nothing too extravagant, but, a beautiful setting that feels in one way really extravagant, but is normal. It's not like the kind of thing that only a celebrity can do. And perhaps that's one thing that they kind of like about their life, living outside of big cities like New York or LA.
Should we also be ready for companies and businesses that have nothing to do with the two of them to celebrate this? This morning, perusing Facebook, I saw one of our local realtors posted a home that was just sold, and it said, a love story. I saw Olipop Soda had an ad about the two. It just seems everybody's going to jump on the bandwagon here.
I think that's right. And I think, fundamentally people are excited about this. They want to celebrate this. Taylor Swift fans literally can move the economy in terms of their spending habits. So I think, this is something that's being celebrated pretty universally. Even the president of the United States, when asked about this, and he's someone who's in the past been very critical of Taylor Swift, especially because, she endorsed Kamala Harris during the last election, celebrated the move, saying that he thinks they're both great and he wishes them well. A rare moment of bipartisanship when it comes to this love story.
Yeah, she's no longer going to be the single cat lady, that's for sure. Well, Peter, thank you so much. And by the way, congrats on your engagement.
Thank you so much. We're 50 days out, so a lot of stuff between now and then we got to get done.
Oh, such an exciting time. I love it. Peter Haralambous, we appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks so much for having me.
We hope that provided a smile or a laugh on this difficult day as we continue to follow the latest on the shooting at the Minneapolis school. At the church, the Catholic Church, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is giving an update right now, and we will give you an update right after this.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Dog owners and dog lovers, listen up. You got to connect with the Hounds and Tap if you're looking for a place to hang out with your dog while enjoying something to drink, maybe some food from a food truck, and watching a game. That's just one of the reasons why you'll want to check out the Hounds and Tap. This beautiful 12,000 square foot facility also has doggy daycare, doggy boarding, and doggy grooming options for you. Sign up, connect with the Hounds and Tap. You'll see what I'm talking about. Our dog Knight loves it at the Hounds and Tap. There's really nothing like it. It's an absolutely beautiful facility. It's designed for dogs. They even have a cool dog washing station if your dog maybe is a little bit muddy. That's right. You can utilize the Hounds and Tap. Hang out. They do trivia nights. They have theme days. The food trucks are amazing. It's a great place to just hang out. especially on a beautiful night like tonight. Visit thehoundsandtap.com. Check out the Facebook page. You'll see dozens of pictures of happy dogs going through boarding and daycare right there. It's a wonderful environment. We love it there. So does our dog. The Hounds and Tap. It's in Menominee Falls.
Here's the secret no one's telling you about those trendy weight loss shots. Many people gain the weight back after stopping, but there's a better way. Using the Milwaukee Weight Loss proprietary natural-based program, we've helped thousands of people not just lose weight, but keep it off long-term. You can lose up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 8 weeks while protecting your muscle mass. No side effects, no rebounds. Ready to transform your body for life? You can do this. Schedule your free consultation today at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. I dropped 40 pounds with Milwaukee Weight Loss. No crazy workouts, no meal kits or shakes, and definitely no meds or injections. They helped reset my metabolism, and the weight's actually stayed off. It's been a game changer for me. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Schedule your free consultation today by calling 262-393-2334. One more time, 262-393-2334. Or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Drafty windows means wasted money. Call Siding Unlimited today for energy-efficient replacement windows and doors and start saving now. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to SidingUnlimited.com.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz just wrapped up his thoughts on the horrific school shooting in Minneapolis. The mayor of Minneapolis is speaking right now. Let's listen in.
Our police officers in the Minneapolis Police Department and other law enforcement agencies well beyond that step up, that answered the call to make sure that they were running towards danger when so many of the rest of us would have run in the other direction. Thank you. We are so appreciative of your service. To Principal DeBoer and your whole team, the ethic that you have showed, the love that you've shown, it's flat out incredible. And at the same time, look, we need to be doing more than talking. It can't just be words. There needs to be action. And when we have seen school shooting after school shooting, when we have seen churches get shot up by horrible actors, I think the impetus has to be on all of us as leaders to do a whole lot more, to recognize that we've got more guns in this country than we have people. And it's on all of us to recognize the truth and the reality that we can't just say that this shouldn't happen again and then allow it to happen again and again beyond that. It's on all of us. And I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community. Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity. We should not be operating out of a place of hate for anyone. We should be operating from a place of love for our kids. Kids died today. This needs to be about them. This needs to be wrapping our arms around these families with every bit of love that we can possibly show. And I know that our Minneapolis family and well beyond is prepared to do exactly that. And so my message to everyone out there is, again, these families are experiencing some acute pain right now. But don't just think of these as somebody else's kids. Think of your own. Let's make sure that we're acting now to not just say it's never happening again, but ensure it doesn't. Our chief of police has been working tirelessly throughout the day, along with, again, a number of different law enforcement agencies, investigators, federal partners, state partners. Thank you, Senator Klobuchar, for being here. Been working tirelessly, and I'd like to invite him up to give some more of the details that have come up. Chief.
My name is Brian O'Hara, B-R-I-A-N, O''H-A-R-A. I am the Minneapolis Police Chief. Good afternoon, and thank you all for your patience as we continue to gather the facts in this investigation into this truly unthinkable tragedy that happened here earlier today. I want to make sure that we are providing the most accurate information possible, particularly as we speak around our victims. At this point, we know we have a total of 19 victims from this tragedy. 2 were young children, ages 8 and 10, that were sitting in the pews at Mass when they were shot and killed. They were pronounced deceased on the scene. There were another 14 children between the ages of 6 and 15 that were injured by gunfire. There were also 3 adults in their 80s that were parishioners here attending Mass that were also shot in this incident. The families of all of the children that have been affected have been notified. The coward that shot these victims took his own life in the rear of the church. That coward has been identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman. No prior criminal history. As to the weapons used to perpetrate this horrific attack, there was a rifle, a shotgun, and a pistol. All 3 had been lawfully purchased by the shooter. At this stage, we believe that the shooter had acted alone. There is no indication of other suspects directly involved in carrying out this attack. Our investigators are working with other agencies in the process of executing 4 search warrants. 1 is for the church itself, where this crime occurred. The other 3 are residences nearby in the metro that are related to this shooter. Additional firearms are being recovered from those 3 residential locations as we speak. We are also aware of a manifesto that the shooter had timed to be released on YouTube. This manifesto appeared to show him at the scene and included some disturbing writings. That content has since been taken down with the assistance of the FBI, and it now remains under active review by our investigators. We know this community is reeling and is in pain. I want to ensure everyone in our community, this parish, all of the families affected, and all of our residents, that all of law enforcement collectively, local law enforcement, our county, our state, and all of our federal law enforcement partners have been here, and we are all working tirelessly to uncover the full scope of what happened, to try and identify a motive why it happened, and whether there are any other further details. We will continue to share updates as the investigation progresses, and we remain committed to being as transparent as possible while protecting the integrity of this investigation. In a moment, I will take some questions that I am able to answer, but first I want to bring up the principal of Annunciation School, Matt Du Bois, as well as, after him, the Archbishop, our Archbishop Bernard Hebda. So, Principal.
Good afternoon, everyone. To any of our students and families and staff watching right now, I love you. You're so brave, and I'm so sorry this happened to us today. Within seconds of this situation beginning, our teachers were heroes. children were ducked down. Adults were protecting children. Older children were protecting younger children.